toss the schizophrenia pills in the trash, to smoke a big doobie, to go on the quest for the truth. It's out there, Jim. Do you want to believe?
Oh, I want to be a Mulder. I really do, Scully. I want to be a Mulder. I want to find
Yeah.
out what's out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought you'd be the skeptic, the Scully. I'd be the Mulder. I'm the one pitching the crazy conspiracy, right?
Well, no. I've got to be the Mulder in this. So
You got to be the alpha dog.
what is our crazy conspiracy? What are we doing?
Well, before we get into the crazy conspiracy, Jim, I just want to point out it's been a very, very fun week. It has been a very fun week. I've got to watch a man who made his name off of, exposing false flaggers, off making fun of people who challenge, people to fights on the internet, turn into a false flagger and turn into a guy who challenges other men to fights on the internet. And I've just really laughed at Ethan Ralph's descent into madness, him, puking, passing out in a pile of his own puke on stream, and then Gator trying to clean it up for him. And I've really enjoyed that. I've enjoyed going on to the Masterson program and making a trained professional comedian scream his head off, cutting off his jokes before they even happen. It's been a pretty fun week, Jim. How's yours been?
Oh well, I've been trying to catch up on it. There were like eight or nine streams that seemed to follow simultaneously after one another. So I watched one after the other, trying to get caught up.
There's like 40 hours of insane fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's a season. It's a fucking season. Yes, that took place in 2 days.
In 2 days. In 2 days. A whole new arc. A whole new way into the future. It's a whole new world order of blood sports, brother. Oh, fuck. So usually, you know very little about these things. Sometimes you say you don't know much about it. What have you seen so far, Jim? What's been your general impression?
Well, for me, this started with, I think his name is Jesse from Pod Awful.
Yeah.
Trying to do gay shit by clipping some screen caps, leaving out names and icons to get me to comment on them. Which, if the material's funny, I would have commented on it. But what got to me was the fact that the reply directly below it, the one that he liked, was like, "Oh, Jim's never going to say anything about that. He won't talk about his internet friends," which made no sense to me, because if it's Monday Matt you're trying to get me to laugh at, I'd say it'd be very far-fetched to consider him my internet friend. So I thought that was a little gay, and I called it out as being gay. And that devolved into Jesse, I guess, coming on to the kill stream, because I was trying to figure out exactly what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And then Dick and him went at it, so I just kind of muted myself and let them have their thing. And I think I got like one question in.
Yeah.
And then, the next day, there were, like I said, there were like 8 streams. So I watched Ralph got really drunk. And then that was kind of the end of that stream. And then I saw Masterson on Ricada, and you go on there, and then there was the big screaming match, and I got a good portion through that. So that's about where I'm caught up on. And then I've been watching people talk about it all day. But I heard you say you wanted to talk to me, so
Yeah.
I decided I'd come on and talk to you.
Well, I wanted to talk to you, Jim, because, nobody seems to be able to give me a straight answer about the questions I'm asking to try and get to the truth. But I'll just break down for you a little bit of basically what my perspective on this has been. So we saw Jesse run his gay op on you, which, if anybody is familiar with your past behavior and history, the worst possible way to get Jim to cover something is to try and trick him or fool him or run a gay op to get him to cover it, because that's not going to happen.
Well, I was more annoyed with the fact of the personal army shit. Like, if you want me to laugh at something, present something that's funny, but don't try to like trick me into being your attack dog or your cudgel. That happened with JF. I mean, there's a lot of funny fucking shit about JF, and I'd had a grand old time talking about him fucking potatoes, but I'm never going to do it because people wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Well, the crowdists were going. But what are you going to do? So, I understand what your reaction was, and it seemed to be in character for you. And when you went on to that stream the next night, you weren't a super active participant, you were just kind of observing what was going on. And so this happens. Jesse does his fucking thing. So I see these DMs, and to be honest with you, like, they're 43 pages long, like 45 pages of bullshit. and they are funny.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some funny shit in there. I mean, I like the I'm gonna fuck you rough and hard, or I'll do it gentle like a novel.
Yeah.
And then the thing about the wings, like I said, if you just put them out there, there's funny shit in there to laugh at. But if you try to like hide it as being something else and like do this personal army shit, it just kills it. It kills the entertainment value for me.
So I can see where you're coming from on that, Jim. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I think everybody is in agreement that your behavior up until that point is perfectly fine and it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? But my problem comes with all the other people who immediately jump and say like, no, these aren't funny. Dick is a Chad. He's an alpha. These messages are a nothing. And we saw this from Toad McKinley. We saw this from Ethan Ralph. We saw this from, of course, Flamenco and Gator, the guys underneath him. We saw this from a lot of people connected to New Project too. Josh, I think, was doing the same sort of thing. So all these things come out on Twitter around the same time. So right away I start to go, well, what the fuck? Like, what connection does Toad McKinley have to Masterson where he's defending him, or these guys to defend Masterson? Why is everybody saying it's not funny and nobody's covering it? That was like flag one for me. The second thing was then when we're on the kill stream the next night, it seems as though Jesse is just being deliberately gangbanged and sodomized by 6 dudes on stream. You're having fucking not just Dick Masterson and Jesse one-on-one, which I think is acceptable, or Dick and Ralph versus Jesse, but you're getting Dick, Ralph, Dame, Gator, Bibble, like 6, 7 fucking dudes in there. They're muting his audio. They're pretending like he's left the call, saying he quit the call, but he's actually still there. Do you know what I mean? So this to me was like, what the fuck? Like, it seems like we're running an operation to defend our friend Dick. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And so, I start to, make some videos about this. And people just start losing their fucking mind. People continue to like damage control it. And when people start to ask questions about it on places like Kiwi Farms and the Dick Masterson Kiwi Farms thread, we've now had that Kiwi Farms thread locked. And we've seen Josh running damage control in the thread saying that, Dick's place is a mansion, even though it's 3-bedroom and 2-bath, just because it's a $1 million home in LA.
Well, yeah. Like I don't get me wrong. There's a lot of funny shit to this, and I'm not going to come on here and deny that. I mean, I saw the Ricada and Masterson and Ustream, and there was some funny shit in there. I think I think Dick handled it quite poorly. The I'm the prom king thing really still sticks with me. But
what is he thinking?
But I mean, to be fair though, it's it's Ralph's stream. That's kind of how he runs it. I mean, shit, I can remember when Destiny would come on and he'd have fucking 7 or 8 people doing that shit to him, and he'd kind of walk it off.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of gay behavior, and it fits in with everything else that's been going on, where it seems like we have to cover up for Dick because Dick pays us. Dick's payment processor pays us. And what the main thing
that's what I was curious about. So okay, I want to try to figure out. I mean, I like the bit, right? So I'm not going to try to kill it, but what exactly is the cover up? Like what or if you could put it like this is happening because of this. Like what is being covered up specifically, do you think?
Well, I just think what it is that Dick might have said to people, maybe not explicitly, but it's implied that, you should defend me. It's good for your career. You'll get further. He said something to that effect to Jesse, cooperate, you'll get further in your career. And right away, when I hear people talk like that, I just think it's slimy and shady and fucking weird.
Did Jesse post any of that?
Huh?
Did Jesse post any of that? If Dick's like putting out bribes, did Jesse put, video or audio or screen caps up of it?
Well, no, Jesse has got fuck all. Jesse's an idiot. Jesse got crushed because he sucks and his ops are gay. And I went on his program and I wasn't super impressed with the sort of person that he is, putting it behind a paywall, this shit. But that's besides the point. What I think is being covered up here is just very simple, is that people don't want you asking questions about why they're defending Dick Masterson. when they have very explicit financial ties to him. And I think what's more important than the financial ties is that, you know, in order to get onto New Project 2, correct me if I know you have one, but do you not have to give Dick Masterson a lot of personal info about yourself? Like your social security number so you can have a 1099, like your full name, your address?
So, yeah, so when I got invited on a New Project, because my Patreon went down after the tranny video.
Yeah.
You know, so I went over to what is it, the Russian guys one, Subscribestar, and then New Project, right? And New Project, it goes through like a third party thing. You fill out your details, and it goes through them. Whether Dick has that or not, I have no fucking clue.
So, what info? Just because I'm struggling to get a straight answer from people on this, and
the info he'd have from me would be my corporation's you know, ID number, the registered agent.
So you're
you know, the
saying you
corporation
filed it under a
mailing address.
corporate LLC in order to, yeah.
Well, I did that on a lot of places, of course.
Okay. So you're saying that Dick has very little access to your info. I mean, he could still find out who you are because you can trace the LLC, but.
Well, you could find out who I am by watching a Toothless Meth Head on YouTube, or reading Encyclopedia Dramatica, or going to Kiwi Farms.
So in your particular instance, your exposure is a lot less than what a lot of other people would be because you've already been doxxed. You've already had all this fucking bullshit happen to you. And so it's not that big. And for you, when you do a stream, you make a lot more in one stream than I think $700, right?
Yeah, I'd say on average, yeah, that's a fair statement. I'm trying to think. I don't know everybody that's on New Project 2, but my info's out there. I know, you know, Ralph's info is definitely out there. Josh is out there. I mean, Josh, just because of the nature of what Josh does, his shit's been out there for eternity. The only one I'm unsure of, I guess, is Dode McKinley.
So it just seems interesting to me because, I mean, of course, his social security number isn't out there for everybody to know Josh's SIN or anything like that.
I'm pretty sure Josh goes through an LLC too. I don't know about Ralph or Toad. I mean, it's not like I can ring them up and ask them. I don't really talk to these people, but I would think that they'd go through an LLC unless they're fucking retards.
Well, the only thing I'd have to say to counter that, Jim, is that it is somewhat expensive to form an LLC, right? Like if you do the paperwork yourself, it's like $500, right? And then
it's like $400 or $500. Yeah, I mean,
there are ways to do it. If you hire a lawyer, it'll be more though. Sure.
It depended on the state too that you go through. If you want to cover up the paper trail, yeah. If you want to do it in your home state, or you want to go to something like Montana to do it, yeah, there are differences, sure.
So what I'm saying is that a lot of people who especially are in a vulnerable situation financially going on a New Project 2 because they've been kicked off a lot of other payment processors or sites, you know, because they're on New Project 2. They may not have the financial resources or the wherewithal that you had to form a private LLC, right? And so for them, their information would be exposed and would be held by Dick. And that's just the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, if Dick has access to their info and he has the right to refuse service at any time, he can, you know, disable your payments. And when you look at the privacy policy of New Project 2, it's not even fully filled in. And even if it was, Dick says, you know, terms and conditions agreements mean nothing. You know, and it's true that they mean nothing, but, you know, he's just blatantly saying that. And his privacy policy isn't even fully filled out. And he says that he is able to keep your information forever, as long as it's for administrative or security or legal reasons. So that means basically he can keep any of your info. He can sell any of your info to anybody. And so I just think that that's a lot of leverage to have over people, especially when you're not some like faceless corporate entity. You're a person with your own, you know, petty grievances or vendettas that can then be taken out on other people. And I just think that it's very suspicious that these people, all with New Project 2 accounts, all came to Dick's defense all at the same time. Particularly Josh, who's just running like, I just don't understand why he's doing all this damage control for Dick's mansion and, you know, locking the thread and creating a containment thread for it on Kiwi Farms. Just something smells off about it to me. I don't know if you. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I like I said, I've been trying to catch up on it. I've watched as much of the streams as I can. I did see that they had a Kiwi thread dedicated to this, so I read through that. But you know, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure Josh said he'd come on and talk to you, but you didn't want to.
Well, I will talk to Josh. It's just my concern with speaking to Josh at that moment in time is I just didn't want to get piled on by a bunch of fucking spurgs. And I just don't necessarily trust Josh 100%. You know what I mean? Josh just, I hate to say it, he's a little bit of a shady guy. You know, he's recorded people when he said it's a private conversation in the past. He's done things that I don't necessarily think are the greatest in the world, like taking, you know, Bitcoin from Russian intelligence, you know, agents or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't know about any of that, but
Oh shit!
Have you been on stream with him before?
I have, yeah. I it was about what, a year and a half ago. I was on a stream with him.
Did he dogpile you then?
No, but that was an instance where it was like we didn't have a disagreement. It was friendly. It was me and him and Coach Red Pill of all people and Godwinson.
I mean, to be fair, you know, I've maybe seen Josh on 10 streams, and I've been on maybe 2 or 3 streams with him, but I don't think I've ever seen him dogpile anybody. I mean, he doesn't strike me as the type of person that would be bringing in 20 people with him.
This is the thing. I just don't know, you know. Right now, I'm in a situation where I just don't trust a lot of these fuckers with new Project 2s, you know. But my experience with seeing your content in the past has always been that you're a very straight shooter. And so I feel like I can have a legitimate conversation with you back and forth without it devolving into some autistic spurgery or a screaming match. I mean, we're already on the internet, so it's autistic pretty much by definition. We're talking about some pretty fucking spurgy shit, but do you know what I mean?
Yes, everybody's going a little lockdown crazy, so it's something of a diversion, I suppose, works well.
Well, yeah, you know, and we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun. You know, I'm making lots of streams, lots of videos. You know, people are enjoying them. They're thinking that they're funny. And just what bothers me is that we're now living in a time where it just seems completely socially acceptable online to rally people into these mobs, to flag people's content down, to sanitize the internet. And when we already have governments and corporations doing this to us, it just breaks your heart to see snitches aiding them and cleaning shit up and sanitizing things. And sure, I used the F slur. You know, we're no longer allowed to say the word faggot. Do you know that? When I was growing up, that was just a term that everybody used. And it wasn't really, you know, it didn't necessarily mean you disparaged homosexuals. You know, it was just, yay, faggot. What's going on? You know what I mean? This was acceptable language. Now, this is a fucking racial slur up there with the N-bomb. Oh, heaven forbid somebody say that either. You know, and you have guys who are supposed to be free speech absolutionists who then celebrate a channel like mine going down, a small channel that really doesn't have much influence in reality, you know, less than 3,000 subs, but it has to be shut down. And I just don't.
Well, I mean, my opinion hasn't changed. I think flagging shit's gay. The issue I've always had with that, and the thing that always annoyed me about it is, if you start taking people down, then there's nobody left to argue with. I didn't like it when it happened to Ralph. I didn't like it when it happened to Destiny. I think it's bullshit that it happened to Low-Tax because Baked Alaska's a pussy that thought Low-Tax saying throwing him in a river with some fucking cement shoes was a death threat. You know, and if it happened to you, it's gay too. And whoever did it's a fag. But I don't know who flagged you.
Well, of course, you know, but I mean, there's some precedent for knowing, right? So I've had my videos get striked before for being reported. And all the ones that have been reported, the first one was a video on Gator, you know? And so because I use the F slur in my video on Gator, where I say that he's Aquaman's sidekick, you know, he's a beta sidekick, but not even to one of the cool superheroes. He's the sidekick to fucking Aquaman. He's the sidekick to a pill-popping, alcoholic, degenerate, redneck, trailer park piece of trash. You know, I said that Gator was subservient. He does it for free. He's a beta. He tries to emulate you with his every action. Kiss up to you, kiss your ring, suck your balls. You know, Gator didn't take too kindly to that. The video was flagged. Every one of my videos that ever gets flagged down has something to do with Ethan, Ralph, or Gator. And could it be a coincidence? I guess. But it's just funny that every single time I go after these guys, one of my videos goes down. And it's not as though we haven't seen this behavior from him before. I mean, are you aware that I think just last month he was saying for his fans to flag JF Garapi?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Well, you're going to have to, I guess, trust my word on this, but there does exist audio of Ethan Ralph saying for his fans to flag JF because JF said to flag Nick Fuentes' stuff. So this is
So you've got flaggers flagging flaggers.
Yes, this is what it's come to. This is what it's come to. What the fuck is going on?
Well, it's all very gay if that's what's going on. But um, okay. So we got to your thing of so you think so do you think it's a financially vested interest that's making people defend Dick, or do you think that they're like scared he's going to use their social security number and sell it to a Nicaraguan or Nigerian on the black market?
You know what, Jim? I'm just not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't know. But it just seems suspicious to me. I think it might be explicit that Dick might threaten somebody, but I don't think it's like that. What I think it's more is that it's just implied. It's implicit that, you want to stay on Dick's good side so you can keep streaming with him, so you can make money when he comes onto your programs and get boosted viewership and ensure that your payments come through. And at the same time, he has access to sensitive info on you, which you've submitted to him. And so you have a vested stake in making sure that, he's happy with you and that you don't offend him. And I think that that's too much power for any one person in the community to have, because then they're uncriticizable. Then they're the sacred cow that's above everybody else. And I just don't want to ever see it become like that. And I've said, like, other companies have access to your info. And yeah, some of these companies might have unsavory political leanings. I mean, they all have the same kind of boilerplate leftist, at this point, policy. But at the same time, they're not like personal, like vendettas against people where if you piss off Jack Dorsey, if you say Jack Dorsey is a fag, Jack isn't just going to ban you from, what was he, the Twitter CEO? He isn't just going to ban you from Twitter for that. Or the Patreon CEO isn't just going to dox you or give your info to Ethan Ralph or to Zoom. And that's one point I want to bring up. Now, you were watching the Nick Rekieta stream.
Yeah.
Did you? Now, you may not have got through the whole thing, but did you get to the part where they wanted to bring Zoom on?
Yeah. No, I got onto that, and then it backfired on them. I mean, I think I said something similar to, who the fuck was it? This is back during like IBS Apocalypse with Joakim.
Yeah.
Where he tried to use, he like brought Zoom on, and then it all exploded in his face. Like,
But I warned them. I said, this guy's a pedophile. This guy's unsavory. This guy, isn't a good guy. He spies on little girls through alarm systems. It's not confirmed that that's him, but it sounds a lot like him on that video. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I think Rekieta played it.
That one I don't know either.
Yeah, so that's fine. But
I mean, I've been heavily invested for like 5 fucking months now.
Oh, I know.
So I'm like a lot of this stuff I'm not into. Zoom doing opportunistic trolling, that's just what he does. So I would expect that if you invite him on, he's going to fuck with people.
Well, exactly, but they don't. But why would they want to bring Zoom on the program? They know what he is. They knew what he was, and I warned them what he was. And he came on and he did this doxing of Dick on the air. And then the next day, Dick makes up with him and says that he's friends with him. And to me, it all smells almost like a collusion, where what it is they've brought Zoom on to dox Dick because everybody already knows his dox anyway. So then it makes it look like Zoom isn't working with them, when in reality, Zoom has Dick Masterson's phone number. How does he have Dick Masterson's phone number? What's the relationship between Zoom and Masterson?
I don't know. I don't know how he'd have his phone number. Maybe he got it from somebody else. Maybe he got it from the website. I literally don't know.
This is what's interesting, Jim. Zoom claims that he did the coding for New Project 2 and he has access to the back end.
Was he posted any proof of that, or did he just claim it?
He has no proof. He has no proof of this, and it may just be lies. But when you consider that Dick had Dick's phone number, they brought him onto the show knowing what he was. And then afterwards, there's this weird makeup between the two. It all seems very suspicious to me. It all seems very suspect. And I
love firestorms like this. I mean, like Jesse, okay, he says, "Oh, Masterson attempted to bribe me," but he doesn't have anything to show that. And you'd think in the middle of a situation like this, he'd be spreading that all over the internet. Now Zoom is saying I had access to the back end, or I do have access to the back end, and it's a shit show already. You think he'd be spreading it everywhere to get a laugh about it?
Exactly. But with Zoom,
but I'm seeing it with neither of them.
But with Zoom, what we got to remember is he is such a fucking wild card and such a fuck dude. I mean, he really will sit on shit for a long time and wait for the right moment to fuck people. We've seen it before with his behavior. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it does turn out that he had something to do with it and he's just waiting to fuck people over, or he's holding it as leverage over people. And this is the thing, is when you have attack dogs like Zoom and Ethan Ralph associated with Dick Masterson, who has access to your personal info, when we know that these guys have done some pretty shady shit to people with their info before, you can see why I might think that people might be intimidated to make fun of Dick Masterson. Do you see where I'm coming from at all, or am I just?
No, I understand what you're saying, but the way I'm looking at it is, this conversation, this concept doesn't exist in a void. You're acting like Dick is the only alternative out there. Subscribestar exists. So, Ethan Ralph, Toad McKinley. I think Toad has a Patreon, doesn't he? So what are the revenue streams? Okay, so Ralph can get money from DLive directly, and I mean you can see what his weekly payouts are on that. Toad can get Patreon money or Subscribestar money. I have a Subscribestar. I'm fairly certain Josh does all the cryptocurrency shit. So I mean, it's not like
he's the only game in town, and you have to come to him. That's true, right?
But when you're dealing with the personalities we're talking about, especially, I'd say, God, out of all of these, especially Josh, I can't picture Josh as being the type to be like, hey, you better play ball with me or you're not going to get your paycheck. Josh seemed like the type that would go ballistic if somebody told him that.
Well, that's what we would assume to be the case. But I mean, I just see all this defense out of him, all these angry posts and threads and locking threads and hiding threads. And it's just, I've never really...
Well, I think that comes back to the fun of this. I mean, I think it's less to do with the financial shit and it's less to do with Dick Masterson. And it's just mostly to do with the personalities arguing with each other. I mean, you've got a bit of history with Ethan. You went on and kind of bombed the shit out of Dick and Nick. And so now you got all these groups of people screaming at each other over this gay retarded shit.
It's funny. It's funny. And again, Jim, I'm not trying to say 100% Dick is this evil puppet master who's trying to fucking hold everybody down. I'm just saying there are some questions about this. The privacy policy is fucking half not filled out. There are blank sections.
I'm fairly certain that was intentional. I mean, I'm fairly certain the toss and the privacy and all the other stuff was just kind of like
it's thrown together to be like, yeah, fuck this. It doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, it's more of a statement about, the fact that all these sites that have tosses and, all these different service guarantees, they're worthless. They mean nothing. It's just whatever the fucking person that runs it decides that that's what it is.
But I have an issue with somebody who has a personal stake running a payment processor and having access to people's personal info. And that's all I'm saying is he has a personal stake. He has a vested interest in making himself look good. And I could just see it being like, hey guys, just can you do me a favor? Can you help me just make this go away? Can you just say it's a nothing burger? Because if nobody covers it and nobody makes fun of it, then he doesn't get any bad publicity and he gets to skate by on it. And I just think that that's fucking ridiculous. Because if it was Mundane Matt, if it was Tonka Saw, if it was fucking anybody that we all consider to be fucking retarded, Kraut, whoever, people would be all over this. But because it's Dick Masterson, who, people look up to because he made this alternative and he stands up for free speech, they're not criticizing him. They're not making fun of him. And I just think that that's fucking strange. And I think that there might be something to this. There might be. It's not 100%. There's not concrete evidence, a smoking gun. At least not yet. At least not yet.
Well, I'd put it like this. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is, and again, this is from my first interaction with this shit with Jesse, is I think Jesse had funny shit, and I think Jesse fucking shot himself in the foot with it. As far as it comes to like Jesse and how he introduced this, I think he fucked himself over. And the reason you're not hearing people make, huge jokes about the text is more that Jesse kind of fucked up his golden opportunity more than anything else.
Well, I just don't know if that's necessarily the case. Jesse did fuck up, but even still, with Jesse fucking up, people could still come in and do their own thing. I mean, a lot of people might have been aware of it without even knowing of Jesse. This thing had been around, I guess, for a little while before that even, and within his fan base it was known, but it only really came to be known by our group of people, I suppose, when Jesse tried to fuck you over. But
and like I said, I got a few chuckles out of it, but like the meat of the shit that I'm looking for has to be a little more than that. Like with Pro Jared, right, when that first came out, is here's this guy's dick everywhere. That's funny.
Yeah.
And you'd think I would have been more on Mumkey Jones with all the sex tapes and everything else, but it was just kind of whatever. He's fucking some crazy furry. And then iDubbbz, I still don't really know what the iDubbbz thing. His girlfriend is a cam.
I think that's all bullshit. I really don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean?
But that's how I feel. Like, so when I see the Masterson thing, and yeah, there's some funny lines in there, and I'll drop some jokes on them. But I'm not seeing dick pics, and I'm not seeing a sex tape of Masterson fucking some chick dressed as a furry.
Well, yeah, of course, right? But what it is, though, is I think what it does is because Dick's whole persona. And again, a lot of it is a character, right? You have to distinguish between the character and the real Dick Masterson. Dax Herrera and Dick, they're two different people. But, the show is built and his podcast is built around this idea of being, the Chad, being in control of women, getting all sorts of pussy, never having to simp, never having to grovel. He's not like normal guys. If this was any normal person's messages that came out, we go, oh yeah, lots of guys have done that for pussy. Do you know what I mean? But when it's Dick Masterson doing it for pussy and he's acting beta and he's simping out, his anima, who he really is very different from the persona that's presented. And I think that that's what the main issue with the DMs is and why he'd want to cover it up more so than people saying, oh, that, he's a simp or whatever. It conflicts with what he supposedly is.
So, I mean, Dick said some cringy shit to get pussy. Right. I mean, I get you. But again, this comes back, at least for me, to two things. One, there's nothing really explosive in it that makes me go, holy fuck. And two, Jesse really fucking just grounded this thing in the beginning. If he had just said, hey, I've got all these DMs and, talking about giving her wings and shit, and this is funny stuff, and look at it, people probably would have got a bigger chuckle out of it. But he turned it into some weird personal army shit, and he fucking shot himself in the foot with it. And I think you're kind of like conflating the two things of people's reaction to kind of how Jesse presented this to a wider audience, and Dick Masterson somehow puppet mastering people to his defense. Dick hasn't messaged me about this. I'll call Dick a faggot right now. Ooh. I don't think he's gonna throw me off new project. And even if he did, okay, so what?
Yeah, no, but what I find interesting though, Jim, is a lot of these guys who are defending him are telling me that they're having like long personal contacts with Dick Masterson, and they're asking questions about what to say. Like Josh admitted that Toad did that. You know what I mean? So it's like, why the fuck are they going to Dick to ask him permission of what to say and what to do?
Oh wait, but if there's such hostility between you and Toad, right, over this, or between you and Josh over this, why are you guys even having conversations about private conversations with Dick Masterson?
Well, it's not even necessarily coming to me. It gets leaked from other people who they're speaking with, right? And I end up getting that information. But
if it's a one-on-one conversation, it came from one of the two people. So either Dick Masterson is leaking his private conversations to you, or Toad McGinley and Josh are leaking their private conversations.
Not the private conversations. The chat logs themselves haven't been leaked, but they'll say, "Oh, I'm talking to Dick in chat right now. I'm asking him this or this." Right? So they're not leaking the chat transcripts of what they're saying with Dick, but they're admitting that they're consulting with Dick. And to me, that indicates some level of a collusion, some level of these guys working together. And again, maybe I'm just watching too much X-Files. I'm smoking too much weed. I'm too paranoid. Too much
X-Files. It's good shit. Everybody loves a conspiracy. But if you're going to craft a good one, you got to give me something. I need some screen caps. I need to know what these people are saying. I mean, you're telling me Toad's saying that and Josh is saying that. Screen cap, show it.
Yeah, look, Jim, it's a lot of this stuff is going to come out in the next few days. more and more stuff is coming out. More and more people are feeling pressure or feeling like,
it's coming down on them, is it?
It's coming down on them. They're going to crack, Brother Jim. They're going to crack. And I'm going to get the truth now, Brother Jim. I believe it. The truth is out there. It's coming, brother. It's coming. But right now, it's just kind of like we're in the damage control phase. We're in the everybody's freaking out phase, but it's like 2 days in to the conspiracy.
What would the appropriate reaction have been?
I think what the appropriate reaction would have been from people is, you would expect to see some videos from people on this, making fun of it like they would for anybody else if it had been their messages or their humiliation being leaked out. And I just don't think that you would see people defending him like this tenaciously. It'd be okay.
When you're talking like videos, you mean like streams too. So I mean, like you're talking like you'd expect. It was brought up on Ralph's thing. I don't know how much of the texts were talked about because it kind of turned into a screaming match. I don't know if Rickada's gone over it. I don't know if Josh, he does the Met at the Internet stream, so I don't know if he's covered it.
What I find fucked is, this whole thing comes out, and I wait a full day because I say, let me see who's going to cover this. Let me see who's going to cover this of the bigger channels. I wait a whole day. Nobody's covered it. I go, what the fuck? So I make a video on it. And, then still nobody's covering it. I go, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you'd think somebody at least above 50,000 subscriber would, see an opportunity to make some money off this and would cover it at least for purely financial reasons. You would think. At least that's what I thought. And so that's why I initially was like, there's something weird here. And then through learning about some of what Toad was saying that didn't make sense, and people constantly trying to tell me, no, Dick doesn't have access to our info. No, actually, he does have access to our info. No, wait, he doesn't. Like, Josh changed his story on that about 3 separate times. He showed up in Godwinson's live chat and admitted Dick had his social security number. Then he goes on the Kiwi Farms and says he doesn't have his social security number, right? Mm-hmm. Then Dick, when I talked to him on the show, admits that yes, because he has to have 1099s, he does have the social security number.
Yeah, so, but are those 1099s coming from Dick, or are they coming from the third party that does a payment processing and cash out?
From what I understand, they come from Dick, from the company New Project 2. That's what Nick Rickada said. He got his 1099 from New Project 2, not from the third party.
Yeah, I legit don't know because I've only been on there so long, so I haven't gotten a 1099 from him.
You haven't got? Because you've just started
like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, 3-4 months ago. So it's just for you. I don't think you're in quite the same position of exposure as a lot of these people are because. I mean, to be honest, Jim, like how many of these people do you think are really setting up a private LLC to protect their info?
Well, but again, I mean, it comes down to even if they didn't. I mean, people know who Ralph is, people know who Nick is, people know who I am, people know who Josh is. I mean, the only wild card, I guess, would be Toad McKinley, but doesn't he just do like mukbang videos now?
Well, this is the thing that bothers me about Toad McKinley, and I hate to get off the main point, but he used to make these fairly entertaining documentaries about a variety of topics. He did this Dongamentary, on Donga. He did the first part, and he was going to come out with the second part. It's never come out because now he's obsessed with this 500-pound woman who eats food, and all his videos are just shilling NordVPN and sponsorships and all this shit. When before he was against that stuff.
And when did that switch take place?
Oh, fuck. Probably 3-4 months ago.
So if Toad is doing the same thing he's been doing for the past 3 or 4 months, why would it be out of character for him not to cover the Dick Masterson thing?
Well, I think that it's just strange that nobody else did either. With Toad, okay, you can excuse me here. He didn't want to cover Dick because he's doing the monthly Chantal, right? But there are other people out there who you think would have covered it. And it's just, it hasn't happened. And even people without ties to New Project 2 aren't covering it. And I just wonder why that is. I mean, do people really look up to Dick that much and think he's such a winner? Like, people are telling me, like, I grew up on Dick Masterson. I grew up on him, and he's my hero and my idol.
Well, like, give me some examples of, like, who you think should be covering this that isn't.
Just anybody. No, nobody is. So anybody would be
Well,
good.
I mean, wouldn't that point to the fact that maybe it's just not that entertaining?
I don't know. I mean, you've admitted it's funny. I think most people.
Oh yeah, no,
find it entertaining.
I found it funny, and I made a few jokes about it. But you know, would I make a 20-minute video about about a man asking a woman for for wings and fucking her like a romance novel? I mean, I'd make it as a passing joke on a stream, maybe, but
Yeah. I think the whole fucking situation there is very fun. I mean, the fact that he's, sent 80s girl to a fucking truck while he fucks this other chick in a tent. He sends her to the cock truck, fucks this other girl in a tent. Then he's going to tell us. Then there's the text, I've cleaned all the nastiness away from the van. I've cleaned it all. Then the guy's saying, my eyes hurt. I need 10 beers. I feel dizzy.
Okay, I mean,
there's
yeah,
a lot of shit in there.
There is funny stuff in there. Why don't you make a video on it?
I have, but the problem is it's been flagged down. And why is that?
Put it up on BitChute. They'll keep it up.
I do have a BitChute, and I do put shit up there. So, unfortunately, we haven't had the opportunity to archive, a couple of these streams because the whole channel is fucking gone. And it's just a shame because people did enjoy. I don't want to fucking, blow smoke up my own ass, but people did enjoy those streams to the point where they were doing 3-4 times the viewership I normally get because I was covering something other people wouldn't. And that's why I just don't get why people didn't cover it, because it obviously gets clicks. It obviously gets attention. So there's a financial incentive to it, not only the entertainment incentive for people.
Yeah, but you're not talking about opportunity cost. I mean, so somebody's going to make a 30-minute video and they're going to put it up as their weekly whatever the fuck. Is the Dick Masterson giving a woman wings funnier than whatever else they're going to fucking put up, given whatever their audience might be? That's why I'm asking for like specifics of people you think should cover it that aren't, so I can try to get a concept of, is it worth their time to cover? Is it funny enough or in line enough with the shit that they talk about normally to even bother?
I just think it's not even that nobody's covered it too, right? It's that people are running such fervent damage control for it, like I've never seen before, where they're just on Twitter constantly defending Dick, and Dick himself is so defensive about it. His whole Twitter is now about me. Do you know? Like the last day, it's all been about me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, yes. You went on to Nick Rekieta's stream, and Dick made a bit of a fool of himself, so he's probably sore about it. I mean, that's fairly fucking obvious for Dick. As far as like other people arguing, I don't know. I mean, you're talking about groups and fan bases and shit going at each other. That's half of what happens.
But Jim, I'm irrelevant. I have less than 3,000 subscribers. They say I'm a fat nobody. I'm a loser. I obviously lost. I was embarrassed. This is what they're trying to say. And do you agree with me? It's kind of a cope. Is it not like a hard cope for the fact that they got blown out by some fat, retarded Canadian spurg?
Well, I will bring up, like I said, I thought you came out on top on that one because Dick looked just miserable at the end of it. You kind of blitzed him and Nick, but I guess that rolls into the flagging shit. Like, you're dropping some gamer words there on Nick's stream, and he didn't really seem to give a shit. But now you seem a bit upset that your shit got flagged down for the same thing that Nick was saying, hey, dude, don't do it on my stream. I don't want to get flagged.
Well, what I'm saying is that free speech absolutists shouldn't care. And if they're going to have to compromise their principles and not allow the no-no words to make money, then maybe they shouldn't be making money. Maybe they should go to an alternative platform. Do you know what I mean?
So you don't care your channel got flagged?
Well, honestly,
because you're a free speech absolutist.
I'm going to come back. I'll come back. I'm just saying, it's just interesting that the free speech absolutists are so upset, when somebody says that word on their program, and that they don't have the principles to then say, well, if YouTube says I can't say that, then fuck YouTube and fuck Google.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of people are at gunpoint on this, and that's not even just people with a financial interest. I mean,
I just refuse.
I used to watch a lot of YouTube, right? And I could watch like World Star Hip Hop shit, where they'd have all the fights. You remember the fight compilation stuff?
Yeah, it's all
crashes, gore, people screaming at each other. Half of that shit was never monetized. You can't put it up anymore. Like, I mean, YouTube is you either play ball with their retarded fucking terms of service, or you're not on YouTube. I think that's why a lot of people
are making money. At least you're not making money, right? I mean,
you're not on the platform regardless. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, if you want to put up the stuff that I used to watch, it's never going on YouTube again. We're never going to have suicide videos again. We're never going to have shooting videos again. Even the cop videos that they put up of censored shooting from like dash cams and stuff, it has to be blurred out and all that shit. Like, I mean, those aren't people that are making money, and that's just shit that's just never coming back. A lot of it is kneecap. That's, I think, half the reason people are looking to BitChute as a fucking maybe an alternative, or going to Vimeo for the French.
Yeah,
they don't fuck them.
Now, Jim, why are people not going to BitChute? Why is this happening? Like, I've gone to BitChute. I try and get my audience to come over. People are so resistant to it. I mean, the site isn't necessarily the very best, but it's somewhat functional. Why do you think it is that even though there's an alternative now that's more free speech friendly, none of these people who seem to really value that edgy content go over to it?
I think it's part burnout. I mean, I went to VidMe, VidMe's gone. I went to Streamy, Streamy's gone. Yeah. You know, like it's when you get a site that comes up and it seems to be getting some momentum, something comes along and fucks it. VidMe couldn't raise the capital they needed to keep the servers open. Yeah. StreamMe had their whole lawsuit bullshit with proprietary technology they were using being lifted from somebody else. So, like, you know, these sites come up, people invest in them, and then, you know, everybody gets their fucking dick kicked in. So as far as like BitChute, people are, I think, more wait and see, but BitChute's really weathered it for a while. And, you know, they did like a stream test thing and it worked pretty well when I was fucking around with it. So I think if BitChute gets streaming on there, I think if BitChute fixes that fucking awful search algorithm.
Oh, it's bad.
It's fucking bad. Dog shit. I try to watch Murdoch on BitChute and it's like a fucking 9-minute process of finding the goddamn videos.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you search for my channel name, like, it won't pop up, you know? You search for the direct title of, like, say I do these X-Files reviews there, and, you know, you search X-Files review, you know, nothing comes up, you know? Like, what the fuck? It's just crazy. So they need to iron out a lot of that shit, and maybe someday they will be a viable competitor.
But I think like in a year, in the next year, maybe, once they get more tech people working on their shit in the back end.
I'm curious because you're, I think, the only person that's ever done a stream on BitChute, right?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure Alex Jones has, and I'm pretty sure a couple other people do too. I'm not 100%, but I mean, I remember Alex did one like back in July of last year.
Yeah, I just remember you having done it, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. They're starting to implement. Like, how was that experience?
Yeah, the BitChute guy on Twitter said, "Do you want to test it out?" And I was like, "Sure." He sent it to me. Its back end is pretty similar to like it's like a crossbreed, I guess, between a Google Hangout and OBS. You know, I didn't have the fucking hang of all their shit, but it was pretty smooth. I think the thing that fucked the chat up was somebody posted the entire Holy Bible in one post, and it was so many characters that it couldn't fucking cope with it,
and that fucked it up.
Yeah, but, so that's why they were like, "You've got to." They started getting a little mad. They're like, "Jim, do something."
Well, you can't do anything. Your chat has a mind of its own. You know, everybody's chat does, really. They never do what you say, so you couldn't control that. But no, it's good. It's good to hear that there are some alternatives coming up, because I'm just so tired of not being able to say what you want to say and think what you want to think, and you have to censor and you have to sanitize. And I just think that if people are going to try and stand on these principles of free speech and, you know, liberty and freedom and, you know, my rights, but they're not willing to, like, say, fuck you, Google. Like, if you want to ban me, go ahead. I'll come back. I don't care if you don't pay me. Do you know what I mean? And it just, what bothers me is, like, we know that we both agree that censorship is bad, but there are people now who are getting away with fucking flagging shit. Like, for instance, Dick, right? I hate to bring up Jesse as this example. It sucks. I have to do it. But Jesse did have 3 of his videos claimed as privacy violations that were about Masterson. And he showed me the emails, and they were legitimate. And I questioned them, and they were legit. And so for me, like, he's getting away with that. You have my streams criticizing Ralph and Dick going down, being flagged. And these guys...
Now, see, that's weird to me, the privacy complaint thing. I got one of those on one of my videos, and all you have to do is edit out the section. It was a Shoe Nice video. There was like a slip, Internet Insanity Shoe Nice video. There was like a slip where Shoe Nice showed something, and somebody filed a privacy complaint because it showed part of their name. And then Google reaches out and says, "Hey, this is a portion that's the issue." So I just literally removed 2 seconds, and then Google was like, "Fine."
Now, how is Shoe Nice doing, Jim?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in years. I thought he might have been dead by now. You know,
he probably is. He drinks ridiculous shit. I don't know how he survives.
I gotta respect it though, you know, because I don't think that shit's fake. I think he really does drink himself nearly to death, like on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, it's I don't think it's fake either. I think he really drinks the shit he says he drinks.
Fuck, man. But this is one thing that bothers me too. You know, I did a mukbang, you know, the fat fuck that I am. I ate 100 chicken nuggets. I got to 97. I couldn't make it all the way. And I puked. And, you know, I remember being on YouTube and there used to be all sorts of videos where guys might puke or there'd be blood or whatever. And it's just not allowed anymore.
Yeah, those all got gimped, yeah.
And it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just crazy to me that we can't have any fun anymore. We can't do anything risque. You know, having to say F slur instead of fag. I just won't compromise on that. I just won't. And that's why I made the point of saying it 6-7 times on Nick's show, not just to bother them and get under their skin, but to point out, guys, like we're allowing the Overton window to shift here to where it's now acceptable to self-censor. And I don't think that that's right. I don't think we should be doing that. But
yeah, but I mean, that's a hell of a way to make a point. I mean, you're using him as a human shield to your political ideology. You're sacrificing Nick on the altar of your ideology.
Well, it's his ideology too.
I don't know if Nick's ever said that he welcomes people dropping fag and shit on his.
I don't know. We've got the guy is supposedly a free speech absolution. He said to me there should be no restrictions on speech during the stream. Meanwhile, he's banning people in chat for saying my name. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very obvious that
the point I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is, I mean, you know how YouTube is. We've just had a discussion on it, but you still went on his stream and did it, knowing what the result would be.
I don't know. He's fine.
Yeah, but you knew what the result could be.
Well, what the result could be, it would probably be a blessed thing, to be honest. It would be hilarious, and you know, I have no problem with that. I'll be honest.
But if it was hilarious and you think it's funny that Nick could get flagged down, then why are you upset that Ralph would be celebrating you getting flagged down?
Well, it's hilarious to Ralph, I'm sure. It's hilarious to Ralph. But I mean, these guys talk a big game about this stuff. I just think that these guys who are monetized by YouTube, they should refuse to take the blood money if they have a problem with these which they clearly do, but yet they don't have the spine to stand up for their principles and for their beliefs. And all these guys are for being able to say that stuff. But because of the love of the dollar,
well, yeah,
but back to the
point, though, I mean, if people were celebrating you getting flagged and that's gay, and I think it is gay that you got flagged, but then you'd say it'd be a blessed thing if it happened to Nick. How are you any different? Like, what's the point of contention on that one then?
Well, I'm not saying he should be fucking flagged, Jim.
But you thought it'd be a blessed thing.
A blessed thing, you know.
A good thing. You'd have celebrated it.
I wouldn't flag it.
No, I'm not saying you would, but you'd celebrate it happening. It'd be a blessed thing.
A blessed thing. Look, all I'm going to say is this. I just think it's fucking crazy that these people who are so against flagging, like Ethan Ralph, he's made his whole career off Mundane Matt and the false flagging. But yet he says to flag JF's content. He said to flag other people. He just openly admits to this stuff now. And I just don't understand why you don't come down on this fucking guy.
On which guy? Which guy?
Well, on Ethan Ralph.
Oh, Ethan Ralph's done fucking retarded shit. I mean, I made a video clip I played on stream of, I took, you know that call where you can kind of barely hear him? He's like mumbling in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And I took that, I took the pill jingling and like the bottles clanking and shit. And I changed it into like some sex thing talking about how he was going to come. In fact, I think I have the audio clip called the cum stream. And the cum stream. Yeah, I played that like 3 or 4 times. I've taken jokes. I've made jokes about Ralph. I made jokes about Dick. The first thing when, you know, Dick came on that fucking...
Hello? Jim? Hello? Hello?
Stream with Jesse. Yeah, are you there?
I think you cut out. I couldn't hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now clearly. I don't know what happened there.
It's my computer's fucking shit. I've tried to fix this pile of crap. I cannot fucking fix it. I've tried everything I can do. I'm just gonna fucking give in and get a laptop and stream from that. I can't. This is why I can't stream. I can't use OBS. Like I can barely sit in a Hangout call.
Well, you got to ride that motherfucker till it dies. I mean, I have a shitty fucking toaster as well. You know what I mean? So I understand why you fucking wait until it's on its death's door. But shit, I mean, hopefully you get a fucking new computer. Folks want to see content from you, you know. Fuck.
I just want to be able to run OBS. That's all, you know, or a fucking editing program or something else. Like, it's kind of driving me a little crazy. But and now I lost the train of thought that we were fucking talking about. Oh, you said why don't I come down on Ralph? And I said,
Yeah.
I've made jokes about him, and then I made jokes about Dick too, about the fucking text shit with Wings when he came on stream with Jesse.
No, I'm sure you've made jokes about them. It's just I know that you really do hold a strong stance on flagging. And when I see this guy telling his audience to flag JF, for instance, or admitting that he's flagged other people in the past or he's directed people to do so, which has happened, you may not have been aware of that, but I just like you to maybe have a look into that because
then I'd say it's gay. Like I said, I think it's faggy shit to go around flagging people. I also think it's gay to celebrate them getting flagged. So if Ralph's celebrating you getting flagged, it's gay. And if you're calling it a blessed thing happening to Nick, I'd say that's gay too. I'd say you're all gay in regards to this flagging shit.
We're all gay. Look, here's the thing. I shouldn't have said it's a blessed thing.
Little too much of the truth out there, Pastor.
Too much truth. The truth is here. It's here. I'm fucked.
That's why I'm Mulder.
The truth is that
I dug it out of you.
You've dug it out of me, Jim. It's over, Daddy Jim. No, Daddy Jim. No. But look, man, I think that there might be something a little bit to this. I think that you can see where I'm coming from. Like, do you think I'm just totally fucking insane? Like some just total fucking retard? Do you know
I
what
think
I mean?
this is a fun troll. I think you should keep doing it. I mean, it's worked. The Dick Masterson Nick Regatta thing was funny as shit. I appreciate that. I like the humor of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Dick doesn't, but I found it funny.
Well, I'm glad you found it funny because there are other people who just are trying to gaslight the reality of it and tell me this isn't funny and I'm a fucking spurg and I'm like, do you know what Ethan Ralph said?
Well, I think that's because everybody's taking this at face value of being a little too real.
Well, look, he said that you would treat me like Amos Yee. He said that I am Amos Yee and that I'm like a pedophile and you were going to expose me as a pedophile on the show.
I haven't heard anything about you being a pedophile. I mean, I know a bit about you, but that's not one of the things I've ever heard.
No, I mean, we've heard some crazy shit about me perhaps, but not that. But he's tweeted out People's Populist Pedophile. That's what he's tweeted out, People's Populist Pedophile. So the accusation of pedophile is very serious. And we like to cheapen that now. And it actually allows real sex predators to get away with their crimes because then when they're accused of it, it's, well, these other guys, 10 guys were accused by flippant bullshit. But this guy wants to fucking call me the pedophile and say that I'm Amos Yee. And you're going to come on here and just fucking rip me a new one and expose me for that. That's what he was trying to say, Jim. You know?
Yeah, well, I'm just watching this shit unfold. You asked me to come on. I came on. As far as like Dick, I haven't talked to Dick privately. I don't picture Dick as being the type of person to demand anybody do anything. And I don't think with this particular group of people they would. I've been on stream with Ethan, I've been on stream with Josh, and I've been on stream with Dick. I think I streamed maybe once a long time ago with Toad. So I guess maybe Toad might be different, but when you're talking about like why won't they cover it? Okay, well Toad's doing his mukbang shit. I'm fucking obsessed with coronavirus. I don't know what Dick normally streams about. I don't really know what Josh streams about. I think he does fat chicks too or something.
Yeah. So you just don't know enough about it. I mean, you have to look into this a little bit more. And, I can tell you a bunch of shit and I can say all that, but until you actually see it for yourself, some of the shit that's been going on.
Well, I need to see something concrete. That's why, like, if Jesse's telling you all this stuff, but he has no screen caps, it sounds like bullshit. If Zoom's saying all this stuff, but he has no, like, boom, here's my back end access, just sounds like, he's fucking with people.
There is no, so far, super hard evidence of the collusion or the conspiracy. It is just circumstantial. But I'm saying it deserves to have some questions asked about it. It deserves to be covered, at least, if not for its legal or political reason, at least because it's entertaining and it's funny and it's something to distract us from this bullshit.
But I mean, that would take me back to who should be covering it.
Well, maybe you should, Jim.
But I already told you, Jesse soured me on it.
Well, Jesse might have soured you on that bullshit about Dick's DMs. But what about like Ralph's fucking crazy bullshit that he's doing? Passing out in his own puke, calling me a pedophile,
Ralph's
saying
an
that
alcoholic.
people
I mean,
should be flagged.
is anybody surprised by that? Like, I saw him go through his alcoholism thing, and then he sobered himself up, and he's saucing it up again. Okay, there's nothing I can do for that. An alcoholic has to reach rock bottom before they fix themselves. You can't fix an addict.
Well, I'm glad you agree with me that he's an addict and that he has a serious problem. He tries to say that he doesn't have a problem, but I mean, you agree with me. He obviously has a severe fucking problem with alcohol to the point where he can't even do the show that pays his bills. Where he's
I'd say the first pill stream, yeah, he got that was kind of a dark mirror into the shit going on. But it was my understanding he had a bunch of personal shit going on that was kind of fucking with him, which I'm sure is going to make somebody that's an alcoholic be more of an alcoholic.
Yeah. It's just, what about Dick buying Ethan alcohol and sending that over to him? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, this is getting a little moral faggy. I mean,
I know.
Wait. Should I get upset that Surfer feeds you pizza? You're obese.
Maybe
is he enabling you? Is he enabling your heart attack?
He's enabling the heart attack. It's coming.
Get Surfer. I need to talk to the white nationalist and ask him why he's feeding you. That's enabling.
I think let's be real. Let's be real. The only thing that will help, Ethan Ralph, is for him to go to jail again, because he wasn't allowed to drink in jail. And when he came out, he was humbled. He was different.
But I thought you said you were going to be silent.
Yeah, for the first half. But this is the third man, baby. We're here to talk, Jim.
You're the third man, Jesus. Yes. I was expecting Crowd or something entertaining.
Oh, okay. Well, this point is, Jim, we're here to talk about just some of the stuff that you're saying. And when we're talking about Ethan Ralph, the guy's a total alcoholic. And he, I guess, was only able to stop when he went to prison. He tried on his own, didn't work. And I guess...
Are you guys hearing one second. Are you hearing an echo? Is that coming from me or is that coming from people?
No, wait a minute.
Is it coming from me?
Oh, am I double streaming? Yeah, it's coming from you. PPP, could you mute yourself?
Yeah, hold on one sec.
Cool. So yeah, the thing is, and I want to talk about this with Ethan. It seems as though you're not going to make fun of him because he might even be, you've been on his streams a lot, you might even be his friend. And this comes back to Dick, okay? Because I want you to know I had nothing to do with this. I don't watch Dick streams. I don't watch even any of the stuff that Ethan Ralph does.
I thought this was Jesse. Jesse's the one who put out the DMs.
So was Jesse the one who was sexting Dick?
No, I'm saying
you're
saying you had no part in this. I said, yeah, Jesse's the one that put out the DMs.
I don't watch their streams, so I didn't know about who Jesse was until after the fact.
Isn't that the Pot Awful guy's name?
I didn't even know who Pot Awful was until I had already read Jamie's article, which was deleted from Medium. After I had read through the messages themselves, I didn't even know who this Jesse Pot Awful guy was. I don't watch Dick Masterson. I don't watch Ralph Retort. I just think they're awful. The only way I found out about this was a tweet from Toad McKinley saying, out of the blue, I no longer am friends with Dick Masterson because he lies to women for sex. And I found that really weird because I followed Toad and I was like, what? Like, what happened? What did Dick do? And then it led to all of this. And it's strange because, Toad McKinley, he made an entire video about Boogie's leaked DMs on Twitter. But for this, he says, nope, I love Dick. I respect Dick. Not going to talk about it. And Jim, it comes back to this, okay? How did Dick even rise to prominence? Didn't he have the show with Maddox?
Yeah, he did a show with Maddox. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't it King of the Universe or some shit?
Something, yeah. And I know Maddox from high school. He used to be hilarious, but
I don't know either of them. But the way I got involved with it was when the fucking lawsuit came up, and I thought that was pretty gay. So that's kind of when I became aware of both of them.
And what happened, the lawsuit is really Dick's big break, and Nick as well, right? Nick Rekieta, this lawyer, he started covering it, and Maddox totally flopped. Dick came out on top, started running his show, and he started to befriend a lot of these people whose content is exactly what this is all about. He befriends Josh, Odd Guy, the Encyclopedia Dramatic, Easy Peasy, right?
None of these people are my friends, Leo.
I'm not talking about them being your friends. I'm talking about the
said
concept.
your friends, like your friends.
I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say is people who cover this kind of content. I don't recall saying that, but the people who cover the kind of content that we're looking at today, that's who he has on his show. That's who he befriends. He has Josh on his show, Easy Peasy, Odd Guy. Dame as well. And the weird thing is, once something like this happens to him, all of those people start saying it's not a big deal. And I don't know if you're familiar with this concept. Perhaps you've heard of it, where someone becomes friends with people who cover this kind of thing so that they don't get trolled. Do you know what that term is? Are you familiar with it at all?
Why are you asking me a question you know the answer to? Haberman
No,
wrote
hey,
that
hey, hey. Oh, yeah,
Haberman wrote the article for what you're talking about.
Well, I'm asking because you're acting like you have no idea what it means when you're saying Dick, oh, he's just doing his thing. Like, I think this is repulsive.
I'm bringing up the fact that maybe people just don't find it as entertaining, and maybe if you have an axe to grind, you're more interested than they would be.
I have no axe to grind with Dick or any of this. I have an axe to grind with what happened, the behavior that came out of it.
What behavior?
Well, the stream that PPP did with Nick and Dick, which I thought was hilarious because both of those rose to prominence from the lawsuit, and in a single day, their entire empire crumbled by this guy with less than 3K subs. And it's really interesting because I see Dick and Nick, when they covered the lawsuit, they kind of became in a position of beyond reproach, right? They were the stalwart defenders of comedy on the internet. Maddox is trying to take us down. Maddox is defeated. Oh, we're so great. The problem is they forgot to be funny or entertaining, and they petered out for years. And then Dick's private DMs, along with his ex, who released a saucy article about this, that article gets deleted from Medium. The guy who who makes the DMs public is some nobody I've never heard of, and everyone says there's nothing about it. I
thought Jesse wasn't that one of the things he complained about in the initial stream was, hey, why don't you talk about me? 2016, I worked with Maddox. It sounds like he's a personal player involved.
I have no idea who Jesse is. Like, it's not. I did speak to him after I read the messages after, but I didn't know Pod Awful was some axe to grind with Dick. I later talked to him.
You do know that
after the fact. That isn't
but
how.
You do know though.
Yes, I.
Okay.
But that had nothing to do with my interest in the subject. What you're doing is you're making anyone who's allowed to be interested in this, they have an axe to grind with Dick. They're somehow, Jesse spoiled the whole thing.
I never said that PPP had an axe to grind.
Okay. So Jesse spoiled the whole thing, and I'm saying I came to it without even knowing who Jesse was. That's the only point I'm trying to get across.
Okay.
So the thing is with them being beyond reproach and them befriending all of these people who cover this content, I had a private conversation with Josh on his Discord server. He probably has the recording. I don't. And it's strange. Okay. I asked him about the stuff with Zoom, saying that he has backend access. And I asked Josh, like, do you know? And Josh said, if that's true, I'm going to delete my new Project 2 account. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Josh hates Zoom.
Yeah. And the thing is, I asked him in stream, I was like, so what do you think about it? He's like, 1 second. Oh, wait. Dick still hasn't responded to my message. Okay. So yeah, what Dick tells me is he has contributed. He's the only contributor to the code base and has nothing to do with it. What do you think about that?
So you brought up to Josh that Zoom had made a claim, and then Josh went to Dick to ask if the claim was true.
Yeah.
What's the issue?
Well, there's if you will, the admin of a site dedicated to covering the kind of content that we're discussing today has a direct line of contact with a guy who says, oh, no, I have control of this. Oh, no, don't worry about that. And then that thread is locked, and a containment thread with an op that has only partial screenshots of the leaked DMs that doesn't include Jamie's now deleted and censored Medium post in the op, doesn't include any of these things. That's the one that's put on the front of the page, and Josh says, I'm covering this. You see, he's like, I've done nothing wrong. So I asked Josh, what made you do this? And here's his answer. I want to hear what you think about it. He says, I don't like that people are telling me how to run my site. And a lot of new users, a lot of PPP's fans are making new accounts, just trying to troll the site. They're flooding the board. They're making they're adding at me saying, promote this thread. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I lock it. I do what I want. Do you buy that excuse?
Do I buy what excuse? That he does what he wants?
He's annoyed by the thread. And that's what made him stop when he's had people like Vordrak, people destroying his family's lives. But he's just slightly annoyed by Dick Masterson's thread, so he locks it and then makes a dedicated containment thread. Screen caps Godwinson's videos and so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, let me try to. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay. I don't find it strange that if you bring up to somebody, hey, a guy that you fucking loathe might be involved in a financial platform you use, that person would then go and ask that platform, hey, is this true or not? I would have done the same. If you told me, hey, Jim, there's some lunatic that you hate. I'm trying to think of somebody off top, but just insert somebody. There's some lunatic that you hate, Jim. That's he's the main force behind Subscribestar. I immediately go and ask Subscribestar.
Jim, that's not the implication. I'm not confused that he asked him about that. I'm just saying the admin of this site has a direct line of contact to a guy whose thread is locked.
He could use Twitter.
Okay. Well, the point is, you see how this seems. He's saying, I'm doing this because I have
a direct line of contact to people, right? Through Twitter. Does that mean we're in collusion?
No, but you don't. But PPP is at less than 3,000. This is... Oh, what is with these Hasidic tactics? It's like he's less than 3K subs and doesn't make any money.
I'm asking
Why
you
do you
to
compare
clarify.
him to Josh? Why do you say
like
he's a free speech absolutionist when he makes no money and his channel is getting banned? These false comparisons you throw on people on the spot.
It's weird to me that you're getting upset over such a small detail or acting like that's some big linchpin.
Because PPP is not the owner of Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is a site dedicated to
but you're acting like it's weird that somebody would be told, hey, somebody you hate is running or
No, I think it's weird that at the time his thread is locked while other threads, which have caused him much more pain and much more trouble, remain perfectly fine, unlocked.
I'm not here to defend whether Josh is gay or not for how he runs his site.
Yeah, well, and this is why it comes to you.
I can tell you from personal experience that when people got on my ass to cover JF, something that could have potentially been funny, it annoyed me to the point of where I did the opposite of that. And when Jesse did this bullshit PA gay ops shit with cutting out the fucking names and the avatars, it soured me on that. So I don't find it so far-fetched that Josh would be the same way, that if he's getting pestered by people saying, you need to do this, he's going to be like, fuck you. No, I'm not.
But do you see how that looks? He says, fuck you, I run this site, I do what I want. I'm just going to do exactly what would help Dick.
He literally does run that site, and he does what he wants.
And he literally does exactly what Dick would help Dick. Because you understand SEO.
He does what he wants.
So if you search Dick Masterson... Okay, continue. I'll let you go.
Yeah, if you're saying Josh is... I don't have the responses in front of me. So if you're saying that Josh is saying he's annoyed with people getting up his ass and telling him how to run his website, if you ever talked to a site admin, do you think that's unique? Josh does it.
No,
Lotax does it. Fucking Moot did it. You remember 4chan? You remember Snacks and how they'd react if faggots telling them what to do?
I have a black box perspective on all of this. Okay?
Good. So then you should understand.
And I've seen all the other things that's happened to Josh that he has not reacted the same way as. But he also hasn't been on Vordrak's stream. He also doesn't receive money from Vordrak. He also doesn't. You know what? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the Encyclopedia Dramatica definition of troll shielding.
It's Haberman's. How are Masterson and Vordrak similar? Like, what are you getting at with that?
That he doesn't lock his thread because he doesn't have any of these connections to Dick that he does with Vordrak.
Yeah, Vordrak went after his family, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, and he didn't lock Vordrak's thread.
So he's gotten way worse. He could have deleted Vordrak's thread and then he would stop messing with his family, but he didn't. He went to the very end to defend free speech for Vordrak. But for Dick Masterson, PPP fans, which by the way, he has like none.
So,
no.
A guy that personally went after his family, it makes no sense what you're saying. You're saying, how is that even comparable?
I'm saying a guy who went after his family, he could fold and lock his thread or bury it, right? Or delete the thread altogether. But he doesn't.
Because he's angry the guy went after his family.
So he cares more about Dick
about
than
people
his
going
family.
after his...
So he cares more about Dick than his family.
Okay, I think you're drawing some weird conclusions. Okay, Vordrak goes after Josh and tries to ruin him. Vordrak goes after his finances. He goes after his family. He goes after his mother. And somehow Josh comes out through all of that. And his big fuck you to Vordrak, the guy that wants his name off the internet, is, I'm not going to take your name off the internet. And then you're talking about Dick Masterson, which is
a bunch of fake accounts, which I don't believe are real. Because he's saying PPP's
which is a separate, different fucking thing. And you're saying that because people are getting up his ass saying, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, that he locked it out of spite.
Yeah, because I don't believe it, because the thread had less than at the time.
That's fine that you don't believe it. I don't know why Josh would do what he did.
I'm just saying how this fulfills Haberman's definition of troll shielding. Dick Masterson is a direct line to admin of these sites who cover these kind of things, and they do that. And then
so you think Dick Masterson is friends with Josh to be protected?
Yes, and it has the Doom Project 2 stuff is just more of a, if you will, where there's smoke, there's fire. In fact, you have to be Dick's friend to get a new Project 2 account. Whether or not he uses the social security number information against him, I don't know, right? It's a black box. I don't have back-end access. But the point I'm trying to say there is he just has friends with all of them. And I think it's retarded that a channel like PPP with less than 3K subs gets flagged down by Ralph & Co. And you're just like, I know nothing about it. When you made Gamergate, when Mundane Matt got flagged down.
Mundane Matt, okay, well, first, there was proof that Zoe Quinn did it. Secondly, with Ralph getting flagged, Mundane Matt, the retard that he is, showed his flag history and proved it. Where's the proof that Ralph & Co. flagged PPP?
Oh, so I don't know. You're right. I don't know. You're right. There was proof Zoe Quinn was the name of the person who did it. We don't know how.
She took it down because Matt used a screen cap of her game from the Steam page. That's why everybody got upset, because it should have been public use.
Yes, and it was, if you will, her game being taken down as for privacy policy. But that's not the real motivation for it to be taken down, right?
Well, yeah, obviously. But I'm saying there was something. Yes. There was something linking concrete.
And likewise, PPP stream and his whole channel is taken down for hate speech, and that's not the reason why it was taken down.
Because
I'm saying had two prior strikes.
It's supposition that you're
supported by evidence by his, because you need
what evidence?
I'll tell you.
What evidence that's on the level of Zoe Quinn or the Monday Matt thing?
You need 3 strikes for your channel to go down. 2 of the strikes PPP has received were from Ralph & Co. And now Ralph & Co.
How do you know that?
That's what the content of those videos are the only ones that have to do with Gator, with Ralph & Co. And what's interesting is PPP and Surfer, they've said F slur, faggot. They've said this tons of times in other videos and streams, but only in a video stream where they're making fun of Ralph being passed out after Dick's stream. After Dick is buddying up to them, cozying up to them, that's the one that gets taken down. Again, I don't have the report ticket. We might need to ask PPP about that. I assume it wouldn't, we wouldn't know because he would have said otherwise. But you see, I'm just saying there's this is really gay, and I'm going to cover it. I'm just going to, make a video about it.
Well, yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's what PPP was just talking about. He wants people to cover it, right?
Yeah, and it was weird that Toad McKinley covered Boogie, making, what is it, leaked DMs about Boogie, his subreddit or something. It's so uninteresting. But these leaked DMs,
the only thing I know about Boogie is the
having sex with a married woman after asking his alien girlfriend to go to another shed. That stuff's like ridiculous.
Right. Okay. So then I don't understand what the upset would be then, at least in regards to people covering it. If you're going to cover it, it should be good, right?
And I believe it is. And it's sad that people like Dame Pesos, Easy Peasy, Josh, Kiwi Farms, they've all sidestepped it. So that's why I'm going to take up it. I have a life.
It sounds like you're trying to shame them into doing it. Like if you don't do this.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's, you see, they were the ones who took the first action. Like Toad McKinley I only found out about all this because of a tweet he made. I don't watch Dick. I don't watch Ralph. No, he's been on Dick's show. He's been on.
So just going on the show was enough?
No, I'm saying being on the show. I don't know if he has a new project too. Going on a show, being on a new project too. These are all like signs that you're not going to make fun of Dick. Now you claim the only reason you're never going to make fun of Dick you did, right? Give us wings, right? Is because you were spoiled by Jesse. And I think that's weird because Jesse wasn't the one who was sexting Dick. Jamie was. She wrote a Medium blog post about it that got deleted. It's amazing.
The ad that came to me was from Jesse.
Yeah.
And then you can see it. It's still on my timeline of them trying to do this gay little ob. Yes, that soured me on it. It's not like it's hidden. You can go look right now and look at it.
No, the original article, you have to get an archive. Because Jamie is the one
nobody linked me an original article. What I was linked were screen caps of DM conversations where shit was hidden, and that came from Jesse. That's why it soured me on it.
Okay. And I'm trying to say my video or this has like nothing to do with Jesse. It has to do with Dick, basically having sex with a married woman, putting off his girlfriend to the side. And then when confronted about it, scream like this. Turns into a tomato, reeing harder than I've seen Ralph ever do to PPP. And by the way, let's talk about that stream too.
Sure.
6+ hours where Hooked Nose Ricada is getting thousands of dollars in streams, and the only part where PPP talks to them is like about an hour. For 5+ hours afterward, they just are saying, "Oh, PPP, what an autist, what a loser. Oh yeah, he's great. Oh, let me read this another super chat for $100. PPP is autistic. You guys deserve it." They just ran damage control, but wait, can you watch that video on their channel now? You cannot. It's private, Jim. The only videos of it are re-uploads.
Okay, maybe it's privated because
because of the S slurs. Oh, because a public address that was already known was said on it. And Dick
don't play dumb about it. What just happened to PPP, right? He got nailed for hate speech. Why would Nick put his shit on private or delete it? Well, he's probably worried about the same
because
thing.
it wasn't nailed for hate speech. He's made it private.
PPP didn't get his video taken down for hate speech?
Their video was not taken down for hate speech, and I'm implying the reason why it's private is because they got wiped with the floor so badly by PPP in his 1 hour presence, and they spent another 5 hours just soaking up the tears of everyone there. It's embarrassing. That stream is absolutely an embarrassment for them, and the fact that it's private and the only re-uploads have less than 5,000 views. How did you watch it, Jim? Did you watch it live?
Yes.
So you watched it live. Okay, so for other people...
Not 6 hours of it. I mean, I watched right kind of around the time that PPP got on, and then a little while later, Zoom. And then that was it. For the other 4 hours, I guess, I don't know what they fucking talked about.
I'll tell you, Gator came on with his little broom and dustpan, and he started sweeping up and saying, oh no, the PPP guy, yeah, he's autistic, he's terrible. And it's a good thing you didn't watch it because it's awful. But now no one can watch that 1 hour thing unless it's re-uploaded at 360p quality, cropped on someone's phone on Godwinson's channel.
And I'm saying I don't find it awkward that they would have. I personally, I would have deleted it. If you're worried, if you're saying there are docs in it, if you're saying that there's gamer words in it, it's going to get them fucking nailed by YouTube. That's not a mystery.
Yeah, and I'm trying to say that's your top concern. I say it's not their top concern. Their top concern is they made it look really bad.
But there are re-uploads, right?
Yeah. I think one of them, there was a full 6 hour one that I downloaded before it got deleted. I don't know if it got deleted or privated. I might need to look at the original YouTube code that I use because I'm using it for my video. I have the full 6 hour one from a different channel. None of them have been flagged yet, and it's because no one knows about it. The original stream, they made their $5,000 or how much money, and then they just went mum and are just dancing on PPP's grave, saying, "Ha ha ha! Look at this loser, this guy. I thought you said you like the little guy. You hate seeing the little guy being destroyed by these guys who receive thousands of dollars to read articles."
Well, I don't know if I'd call PPP little, but okay. It's a fat
He's
joke.
quite massive. He is quite massive indeed. But
I guess I'm trying to get your gripe here. I mean, you can't bitch at people and try to shame them into covering something you want.
I'm not shaming anyone into doing. I'm just.
Well, you're saying like easy peasy. Go to McKinley. They need to just. Why won't they do this?
James, I'm not shaming them. I'm saying, wow, their friendship is making them not make the video, so I'm going to. And this is going to be in the video. That's why I'm doing the stream.
But you're making the assumption there's a friendship there.
I'm making the assumption there's a friendship here. Oh, why are you being
really a weird one? Is
easy so obtuse? You're being so obtuse. I'm assuming that there's a friendship between Josh and Dick when he's been on his streams multiple times, first-hand contact with him.
The weird one is easy peasy. You still haven't explained that. So he doesn't want to cover it, and this is because he's somehow secret friends with Dick.
Okay, maybe that's a stretch. I did it because he's on EDF. He's someone I just noticed from EDF, like Encyclopedia Rank. He's maybe not as close as everyone else, and he's not going to be in the video either. Okay, but I'm just trying to say, like, you're being obtuse if you don't think a bunch of friends are covering for each other, and that's really gay. But actually, you're covering
but covering for what? That's what I'm getting back to. The crux of this is what? That Dick said ridiculous shit to fuck a girl, or that PPP went on Nick Ricada's stream and they argued.
It's not just that they're not covering the fact that he sent, that his eye is hurt. He's lying to get this woman who later had a post saying that Dick is totally fake. This small-faced Mexican. She doesn't want to have anything to do. They're not going to mention any of those things. But then when videos or streams do make about it, his channel gets taken down. His Kiwi Farms thread gets locked. They make a containment thread, because I see people in the chat saying 100 times, "Oh, no, there's another thread." The containment thread's up doesn't include Jamie's original delete. Jamie, not Jesse. Instead that thread's all about Jesse. It does the same approach you do, Jim. This Jesse guy wanted to make Dick look bad, and it backfired. So this is, let's agree, not funny.
What are you talking about? I'm not going to get personal armied by some faggot I don't know on the internet, Jesse, into doing his bidding.
But
yeah,
again,
we're going to get Jim. We're going to get Jim to do something, and we're going to get Jim to do something. We're going to sucker him into it. We're so slick. Not happening.
So
man.
Jesse sexed Dick. Because Jamie is the one who did the original. Jamie is the one who did the original post and the one who leaked the original DMs.
Jamie is.
She's the one. Oh, she's the one at the center of the DMs.
So you're way more involved in this than I am.
What do you mean? I just decided to read the actual DMs, unlike you or anyone else who said it's not funny.
I had a group of shit sent to me from a guy that tried to trick me into doing something for him, and I said it was gay, and that's pretty much where I let it drop. So yeah, apparently you are more informed on this than I am.
I'm working on a video, and I basically the not funny stamp that Josh and everyone else has stamped officially on it. I ignored it. I ignored that stamp. Decided to read the DMs. Decided to look.
I said it is funny. There is funny shit in the stuff that I saw, but I'm not going to get invested with it because it's the same shit people tried with JF with me.
Okay, so I'm not going to get invested with it because it's the same stuff JF did to me, stamped from Jim. I ignored that and decided to open and continue reading, and I'm making a video on it with this in it.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. That's all. I just wanted to see that it's very clear.
To see that what's very clear, because I'm a little more confused now, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm thinking more and more about it.
About what?
The parallels to the 9/11 of the internet, to that thing.
The fuck are you talking about?
This thing called that you got famous off of. The thing that caused all these grifters to exist in the first place, like Ralph and Co.
Which would be?
You made several videos on it. I think it's called Gamergate. Perhaps you know about it. I just saw parallels.
A 6-year-old hashtag?
Yeah, but no, this guy.
You want to
this guy makes
a 6-year-old hashtag?
A post.
Really?
A post about some dude's sex details gets censored. The DMs get censored. And everyone says, oh, it's not funny. Who cares? It's dumb. And it just now happens the people who are saying it's not funny, it's not worth your time, or you're just trying to force me to do it, are now the people who once
but we need to keep,
the ones covering Zoe Quinn.
We need to keep sluts out of video games. How are you confused about that?
Yeah, and I think we need to let keep Catholic Americans out of America, and that's what I'm doing. By
all right, good luck with that.
Thank you. But yeah, PPP, is there anything else you want to say? We've been going on for...
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm
gotta
back
be like
in.
8-year-old hashtags you want to throw into the conversation.
I'm back in. Hey Jim, let's get back. So what I was talking with you about before, Leo came in and made his points, and he made his points, and there are his points, and they're fun. But what I was going to ask you was, why do you think that Ethan Ralph has relapsed? What would you point out as being the root cause of that?
I have no fucking idea. I mean, if he's an alcoholic, he's going to drink, isn't he?
Well, I just think that every single time that he's been relapsing, it seems to happen on a day where I expose him for something or make fun of him. He'll show up in my chat and he seethes and he spurgs, and then he drinks himself into a stupor. And so I really think I am the root cause, unfortunately, of Ralph's alcoholism. And I think that that's why he comes after me so hard, and tries to, flag my videos or tries to fuck with me. I mean, would you think that might be an accurate assessment, or is that off base?
I think that you two probably hate each other. I mean, it's entertaining to watch you go back and forth. I think the flagging shit's gay, regardless of who it's fucking happening to.
Okay. But do you think that, Ralph's relapse might have anything to do with the drama surrounding him?
I legitimately have no idea what's going on in Ralph's life. I mean, I think his mother's sick, so maybe he's drinking because she's dying. I have no fucking clue.
Well, his wife did happen to divorce him a couple months ago as well.
Okay, so I guess there you go.
Well, now that he's exposed, he keeps going. He makes it worse and worse for himself. I just don't know. It just seems like to me, you just don't want to criticize Ralph. You say he's gay or whatever, but you don't want to point out the hypocrisy of what he does. He makes his name off Mundane Matt. Well, he then tells people to flag JF. He celebrates my flagging. He's in there calling me a pedophile, but you don't point out any of this hypocrisy. You just say he's gay. I made fun of the pill stream. Do you know what I mean? I'm wondering where the standards are. Do you know?
What standards?
Well, do you not have a standard that
I have a standard
advocating
of
for
doing what I'm
flagging is wrong.
interested in.
So if Ralph is advocating for JF's audience to be flagged, you disavow Ralph. You say that Ralph is wrong for doing that.
Yeah, just like I say Jeff is wrong for doing that. Just like I say you saying it happening to Nick would be blessed is wrong.
You want to go back to that, you know what I mean? It's a gotcha moment for you, you know. But
I didn't. It's not a gotcha moment. You literally offered it to me on a plate.
But it is. And
you served it to me on a platter, and
what you want to do is you want to take one remark said loosely in fun, in jest, and then try and make it out to be as though I support flagging and I'm just as guilty as motherfuckers who are directly.
I never said you flagged anybody, but I said you did celebrate it. You celebrated the idea.
I celebrated the idea of it.
Yeah.
Like, get real, Jim. Like, have a reality check.
You're now a little upset.
But no, well, Jim, you're doing a gaslight, and I just don't like it when people
what is this gaslight shit? Are we
trying to assert your own version of reality? I don't know.
Are we 13-year-old girls on Tumblr?
But what you're doing is, I don't know. What you're actually doing is just gunt guarding, and it's pretty shameless. It's pretty shameless, the gunt guarding that you're doing.
I'm sorry that you can't seem to convince all these people to cover shit you want them to cover. Maybe nobody fucking cares.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people care. There's a lot of people here watching it now. A lot of people on Kiwi Farms talking about it.
Okay, great.
It seems as though the organic audience seems to care a lot. It seems as though the e-celebrities who grift don't want the truth out there. The e-celebrities who are grifting don't want it out there. And they're out to silence people like me who will cover things like this because it makes them upset.
Well, that's
you
fine.
can smugly chuckle. You can do the Sargon routine.
Carry on.
You can do the Sargon routine and smugly chuckle.
I'm legitimately smuggling at you because this is weird.
All right, well, listen, Sargon. PPP, now that you're here, you have been flagged by your video's themes when they are flagged have to do with Ralph and Co., right?
Of course, they always do.
That's strange.
But that's just
no, don't worry. You don't know. It's a coincidence. You have no idea. Maybe it was because of hate speech. That's why. It's because of hate speech.
Hey, I mean, if we're going to go with any possibility, maybe you guys are attention horses.
Wait a minute. Now you're calm down. I have one point to make.
Maybe that's what you did. Maybe Leo's the mastermind. He wants to.
I have one point to make, Jim.
You said that people to stir the shit.
You said Surfer was a white nationalist, right?
Didn't he say that on his stream?
Well, you've seen Surfer's streams, right?
No, I saw your stream where he said, I'm a white nationalist, didn't he?
That's the only stream you've seen Surfer.
Yeah, that was he was on your stream.
But Surfer says a lot of things that are pretty outrageous. He's pretty fucking wild out there. He's pretty Wignat style, you know what I mean?
Okay, and that's fine.
But those streams don't get flagged where Surfer's dropping N-bombs or saying the K slur or doing whatever. Those don't get flagged, but for whatever reason, the videos criticizing Ethan Ralph do. So it's clearly not YouTube's automated system of hate speech. These are clearly motivated by some group that doesn't want me to talk about Ethan Ralph. I mean, is that not a conclusion that seems reasonable to you, or am I off base?
I'm willing to accept any possibility, but along with that is that maybe you two are attention whoring and flagging yourselves.
Yeah. So by the way, where was the first stream?
What defines an attention whore, though? Like, aren't all e-celebs attention whores? Like, do you not make videos so that people will watch them and you make?
Yes, we are all in this stream right now attention whores. Absolutely.
Except we're not accepting thousands of dollars while doing it, but continue.
So you're a poor attention whore, but you're an attention whore.
We're people who don't let money influence us.
But
you let attention influence you.
But the pot's calling the kettle black. You admitted you're an attention whore, so it's not a real argument, right? You admit that, right? If we're all on the same boat,
but don't worry. If he loses super chats, you could just bitch to Karen more, and then it'll make it happen, right? You know, it's Susan. Sorry, Susan.
Get the name right. You're fucking everybody.
Oh, sorry. They're all white women names. Forget it.
Read from the script.
The script? What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
God, you guys are trying so hard, and it's really weird.
You're trying so hard to make it seem like nothing matters.
I'm sorry that nobody you want to cover it will cover it. I'm sorry that Josh doesn't give a shit.
So,
I'm sorry that Dick Masterson isn't a mastermind puppet.
I'm sorry that you're a disingenuous faggot, Jim. That's what.
That's hurtful. I mean, I'll have to live with it.
Jim, you're a big boy.
Well, you guys, you put out those world-shaking videos, and you get the truth out there.
Well, the truth is coming out there, Jim.
We're waiting for it. We're waiting for the next chapter.
What do you mean?
Who's the fourth man?
What do you mean we? I thought.
We, the tentative audience. Didn't you just call us all out? The fifth man. Oh, I'm
The
waiting for the
fifth
sixth
man.
man.
And
The sixth.
the sixth man is coming, Jim.
The seventh. And the eighth and the ninth.
Who knows? Who knows how many men there are? All the Guntelman's
I have a feeling
men.
a lot with this group.
The only thing that matters is that Ralph might actually fight PPP, and it should be to the death. And that's really what we're most looking forward to. But in the meantime, we'll sate the audience's appetite with covering this.
With this, yeah.
Well, Jim, what do you think of that idea of me fighting Ethan Ralph? Do you think it'd be entertaining?
I thought it was gay when Worski and Taka wanted to do it. I think in real
see.
life fighting is stupid, but I'll watch it if you two idiots are going to do it.
Okay. So, but
If
it's gay when Tonka does it, will you admit that Ralph trying to challenge me to this fight is gay?
Yes, in real life fighting is gay. Yeah.
So Ralph,
why do you
Ethan
think that's...
Ralph is in fact gay, and he is turned into Tonka Saw?
That's not what I said. I said in real life fighting is gay.
Is it true? I mean, if he's doing the same thing Tonka did.
Yes, if you're challenging people to fight you on the internet, yes, you are gay. That's a gay thing to do. Yes.
Okay, so I'm glad that you finally are able to criticize Ethan Ralph. That's a positive.
Well, he's made jokes about him in the past. He's we're good. No video about his flagging, right? Because we're whores, or we're like pressuring him.
You are a massive attention whore.
Pressuring Jim into
you are
making
a massive
videos
attention
by
whore.
saying that someone he goes on stream with flags.
Massive.
So are you?
Galaxy size.
What are you talking about? You admitted you're an attention whore yourself.
Anybody on the internet doing this shit's an attention whore. What the fuck are you talking about?
So then how can it be a real criticism if you yourself and everybody is guilty?
If we're all in the shit, pointing out that we're all in the shit.
Criticism that refutes his points, but you're a huge attention whore.
Yeah, the difference is
it's not a real point.
When Dick Masterson's DMs come out, Jim is going to go on a stream with Ralph and tell them, yeah, this is dumb. It's not funny. But when we're like, hey, we're trying to wonder why this channel got taken down, why the video where PPP destroys them is privated and stuff, you say, well, you're all attention whores. This is not funny. Sorry, you're begging people to make videos.
Well, you are. You just, what was it? Oh, Easy Peasy's friends with Dick. Well, I just saw him on the EDF forum. You're just throwing names out to get attention.
You. I never said Easy Peasy needs to make a video. Oh, you're so full
of fucking attention whore.
So, Sawgon, do you have your...
Yeah, that's what you are. You are an attention whore.
Oh,
you have been since Gamergate.
You
have been since Gamergate.
Yeah. I can thank you for that.
Go fight the Mexican Catholics, Leo.
I mean, don't you make money?
Retard.
Anyway, look, I'm just saying, if censorship and flagging does so much damage to our community, why are Ralph and Dick participating in it for like? It just seems
if they are participating in it, it's fucked up. I've told you that. If you have concrete proof, put it out there. Blast their ass for it.
So when the concrete proof comes out, will you then criticize them for
Absolutely. If you got concrete proof of it, yes. Why wouldn't I? It's gay, fag shit. Yes, I will absolutely criticize them.
You won't be saying it's just a nothing, it's not funny.
If you have proof that there's a group of people flagging you because they don't want your word out there on the internet, you got something good, I will call those people gay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you had to guess who is responsible for it, would you say it's just the YouTube community policy group, that the AI that flagged?
I have no idea. You guys have been going back and forth and attracted quite a lot of fucking secondary and third characters. You've got Zoom interested now. Maybe he's fucking with you.
Here's the thing, though. If none of it mattered, then like, why would the thread be locked? Why would it just like, who cares? If it's just as dumb as it is, why did this whole shitstorm start?
Why aren't you asking?
Jim, why are you here right now?
Because
like, you clearly this doesn't matter.
He asked me to come, so I said,
and why did PPP ask you? Because Dick's DMs are apparently not being allowed to, or like
I was invited on the stream, but if you have such a grudge or umbrage with Josh, invite Josh on.
Yeah, I don't have his contact info, but
you just said you had no. Wait a minute,
I was in a
Discord
DM.
So you can get a hold of him.
Discord, no, I can't.
So
Discord, no. Let me finish. Let me qualify for this because Jim loves a quick thing. I'm in his server. He's in a group voice chat. I talked with him there. Didn't record it. I'm not friends with him. So I don't have a way to do him.
You're friends with him, but I'm saying if you wanted him on, obviously you can get a hold of him. It's not that big a deal, right? It's easy to get a hold of people on the internet, isn't it?
Well, it's not easy to get a hold of you. It's only after this
he literally asked me, "Can you come on a stream?" And I said, "Sure."
Only after this 1 hour, what is it, absolute dumpster fire on Ricada's stream is privated, and then his channel is taken down. Like, otherwise you wouldn't expect you just to go around to every single stream you like. But there's a reason why you're here, and you're deliberate, like obtuse, and I have no idea what's going on. This is just crazy. It's so transparent. And calling all of us attention whores.
Well, you are. You have been since Gamergate. That's why you still talk about it. 6 years later,
talk
who cares?
about it? Fuck you. What are you talking about?
Who cares about it?
To do with it. Who cares? You don't.
You just dropped it.
Up.
You brought it up
I'm
now.
drawing parallels.
Jesus, a 6-year-old hashtag.
James,
Can we all agree, though? Can we all agree that Gamergate was a cancer? And it
was the biggest not video game post in the history of V. But James is the one who started it.
I've always wanted to ask you this.
Yeah,
do you feel at all responsible for what happened in Gamergate? Do you feel at all a little bit ashamed of how it turned out, knowing that you were kind of the catalyst for it? I know you didn't endorse what happened after with the grifting.
The catalyst for it was 4chan's V-board.
So you're saying the conspiracy theory videos didn't kick this off?
What I'm saying is you're talking about like what started this and where was it being talked about? It was obviously on the V video game board.
And I'm just drawing parallels to the fact that you made a video over Mundane Matt getting flagged. And I'm going to make a video about PPP getting flagged. But this is attention whoring and gay. But when you did it...
because you're obviously getting upset. You're getting upset because I'm not as interested as you want me to be.
I'm getting upset because you're so fake, Jim. That's why.
Oh, so there's more to it. There's more to it. Okay. You're holding it back in, holding it in a little bit and waiting to drop it. Why don't you just say what you think?
Drop a few Sargon Shuckles and I might break.
Say what you think, Leo, instead of being a little, passive-aggressive bitch. Just say it.
Okay, you're a faggot. There you go. You got it.
Well, you're a faggot too. Now, hashtag Gamergate.
Let's settle this down.
Go talk about that some more, retard.
I have a point to make that's not about Gamergate.
Thank God.
Thank God, I know. But what I'm going to say is this. Remember when we were talking about Sargon and his capos and how they were flagging people in the doxing server? You kind of were a little bit of a conspiracy theorist when it came to that, no?
Yeah, sure.
And so I just don't understand the criticism of, coming after me and saying I'm fucked up for doing this or I'm crazy for doing this when you didn't really have concrete proof that that was happening with the skeptics, right? It was kind of a hunch, right?
It wasn't a hunch. People dropped a fuck ton of screen caps from Discords and video recordings of list after list after list called a target list.
So it eventually came out, but initially, there was...
That was the initially.
I just don't know. I just think it's funny to, have been a conspiracy theorist yourself at certain points in time, but now this isn't worth looking into. Like, do you think it's worth looking into at least?
I'm saying if you want to dig. If you find shit, great. If they're responsible, they're gay for it. But I haven't seen anything showing that.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of promises.
You don't think there's any
like Jesse saying that
that would point towards, for instance, Ethan Ralph being the one that would have flagged down my video or Gator when I've had streams. The only times I really get flagged down or for their specific instances where I'm doing videos on them. You don't think that circumstantial evidence points at all in the direction of them being responsible?
I'm literally telling you, if they flagged you down, they're faggots for doing it.
So I just would like to see their report histories. Do you think that it would be good for Ethan Ralph and Gator and all these guys to show us their report histories so that we can know if for sure it wasn't them?
Go ask them. That's what we did with Monday Matt. We literally asked him to do it.
But you wouldn't advocate for Ralph to show his report history right now?
Sure. Have Ralph show his report history.
So you're saying that Ethan Ralph should show his report history?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. That's what Daddy Jim said, Ethan. You should show us your report history. But you have nothing to hide, right? You have nothing to hide. You have nothing to fear. But I have a feeling it's going to end up Mundane Matt style where it's either Shannon. I think it's Gator really that's doing it, But
let me ask you this. Let's say they do it. Let's say they do right now or they do it tonight or whatever their fucking streams are. And they show you their whole report histories and there's nothing there.
Well,
then who did it?
If there's nothing there in their report histories, it still doesn't necessarily clear them entirely because, of course, there's capos that work for them that do these ops anyway. I would just like them to at least take the first step towards transparency by showing us their report histories to show that they didn't flag it down. And I think you would agree with me that would make sense.
I'm not against it, no.
He's too busy covering coronavirus. Let him do his thing. Let him pretend he doesn't
That's
care.
what I'm interested in. I'm interested in coronavirus, yes.
Great. I'll turn on the TV to learn more. It's
awesome. You do that. Hashtag Gamergate.
Hashtag Gamergate.
What the fuck are you doing?
Put your fursuit on. Hashtag Gamergate.
Absolutely. I'm typing this right now with the mic in my fursuit as we speak.
Hashtag Gamergate.
What the fuck are you getting at, though? Just throw in some of these quips and stuff, and maybe it'll stick. Maybe people will think that. Because
God, you are a mad little man.
What about the one thing that hasn't been brought up? Actually,
sure, go ahead.
in my stream before it went down, a co-host of Dick Masterson's Vito, who's an authorized account, came into my chat and he started to like race bait. He told, like, because I was doing like the Ethan Ralph Southern Plantation character that I I do that, right? And he goes, do that again. So you know what? I said, fine, I did it. I did the bit. And then 5 minutes later, my stream goes down. And we know that verified accounts do have certain power. And now Vito, because it looked so suspicious, released his report history, which didn't include flagging my stream, but it had showed he had flagged 4 streams before. So
4 of your streams?
No, 4 other people's streams.
Was it related to any of the shit you're covering now?
No, but I'm just saying it shows that people related to Dick Masterson have been involved in flagging before. So it may not have necessarily been Capo Vito that did it, but it may have been Capo Sean or any other capo that works for Dick or Gator. That's all I'm saying. It's just suspicious that we have this verified account showing up Vito. Then the stream goes down. Then he shows his report history, which shows a history of flagging. But then we're going to pretend like there's no possible way these guys could have colluded. And then on top of this, there are screen caps of the Dick Masterson Facebook page that show them saying, got him, patrolled, you know, and we, is it coincidence or is there something to this?
So Dick Masterson is posting on his Facebook page that he got you?
Not Dick Masterson. Dick Masterson's people are posting on the Facebook.
It was in the Facebook group for Dick Masterson, yeah. But he hasn't seen this, and we can't show it to him live on air now. This is all. There's no evidence, nothing. Who cares?
I'm just saying that, you know, if Jim had to look into it, perhaps he would find things.
No, that means we're begging. That means we're begging him.
Make a compelling, entertaining video putting it together, and maybe people will give a shit.
Well, I think that is what's going to take place.
And that's
we're very early on in this process,
exactly.
Right?
So.
We're very early on in the process. I'm just saying that there's something here that's at least somewhat compelling, somewhat funny, somewhat entertaining. I think, Jim, if you're honest with yourself, you have to agree.
Oh, he's not honest. Look at his content over years. You know,
well,
I'm a huge.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, Jim,
sorry to disappoint you.
James, the thing about you is you kind of do a joke that you still do it anyway. For your first page right there, I'm a huge whore. I'm selling out. And then you still are a whore.
Yeah, I am.
This is the problem. You kind of just...
Should I be dishonest?
No, because it's because you're the amazing apatheist. You don't actually believe in anything. And you can kind of just go about, saying your jokes. Oh, I love the Sweetie Squad.
What should I care about?
Do you think the Sweetie Squad is cringe or not?
What should I care about, Leo?
How can I not ignore the Sweetie Squad basically being Kakistan? But, oh, no, you love the Sweetie Squad. Because anyone with a brain is like, oh, clearly he's joking. But then the Sweetie Squad, oh, Jim loves those.
Oh, no, I absolutely adore my fans, yeah.
Yeah. So you see, that statement right there. Anyone with a brain knows you're joking because they're awful. Seeing a guy in a full white suit dressing up as Jim for Halloween, that's awful. But no, that's actually great.
You brought up this like nihilistic, oh, you're the apatheist, you don't care about anything. What should I care about?
Well, the things that you've stated in the past.
Not you people. I want to hear it from Gamergate. Okay. Leo, what should I care about?
So literally, you keep saying that I'm the one bringing it up. In the last 5
you literally brought it up first.
In the last 5 to 10 minutes, you have said
you brought it up first, so I'm going to keep bringing it up. You wanted it as a topic.
Like in the last 5 minutes, you said it at least 4 times.
I'm going to say it 100 times. So what should I care
Why don't you keep saying it to show how much I care, even though my channel has nothing to do with it, and I've deleted all my Gamergate videos? But please keep telling me. Say I'm a furry. Say I'm into Gamergate, and maybe people who are as dumb enough to buy your merch will believe you. No, they'll believe you because they.
Leo, just tell me, what should I care about?
What?
You said I'm an apatheist, though. You don't care about anything. What should I care about, Leo?
You don't believe in anything, so you can just make these lies left and right. You can be fake as fuck in front of people and have not a single hint of guilt on your conscience.
What should I believe in?
I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. If you want to talk to one, PPP is right here. No, PPP is right here.
What should I believe in, Leo?
Well, I'd like you to believe in Jesus Christ myself, Jim, and give your life to him as your personal savior. But we know that's not happening. But
please, I have no problem talking to PPP. I really want him to tell me. I really want an answer to this. What should I care about, Leo?
Well, my channel content, if you're interested, will tell you. It has mostly to do with Jesus Christ. The same kind of content PPP does. When he does sermons.
Now, is it actual Jesus content, or is it
actual? It's actual. Biblical stuff.
Well,
it's not Roman Catholic.
I do have a legitimate background in Christianity. Like my grandfather was a
Yeah, I know,
preacher,
but you
my
like to
uncle-
troll and shit. Is what I'm getting at. Is
Well,
Leo,
I
Leo
do,
trolling
but-
too, or is he like legit into the Christian stuff?
I am legit into that,
and I'm legit
I have
as
been
well.
my whole life.
And being legit into it allows me to still call you a faggot. It's not like those are two mutually exclusive
I never
things.
said you couldn't, but I'm asking you what I should believe in, and you're telling me you're upset that I don't believe in Christ, right? That's what we
I said because you don't, you're allowed to basically, without a hint of guilt on your conscience, lie to your fans. Basically, say I could scam from them. I could know the Sweetie Squad.
What if I lied to them?
I love the Sweetie Squad and stuff. You don't
What if
think
I
any
lied
of it?
to them about?
Right there, you say I love the Sweetie Squad.
I do. Why wouldn't I like people that watch my shit?
No, I think if you've seen what they do or like who they are, you'd say it's just as cringe as Kakistan. But because you don't care you care more about the money that they give you, you're willing to say here in front of everyone, "Oh, I love the Sweetie Squad. I love the Sweetie Squad."
Quick question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim, like Dick Masterson would say, like he said, you're the untrickable man. And people say like you're the last cool kid on the internet. And like, do you at all like feel secondhand embarrassment for them that they suck your dick that hard? And, people who say you're the savior of Western civilization and all that shit, right? Like you don't feel at any all secondhand embarrassment for them that they ride your nuts that hard?
I'd say it's the stupidest shit ever. Yeah, I don't believe that I'm the fucking savior of the West or that I'm untrickable or some dark internet troll. I'm not going the Vox Day route of sitting in a mahogany chair talking about my day-to-day shit.
No, you're none of those. He's just an attention whore. That's
well, hold on. I want to bring it back to one thing that I personally have always wondered about. Helsing 920 was a channel I used to watch when I was a teenager.
I used to watch when he was alive.
Yeah, when he's dead now, and it's sad, And there are people like a Salieri who were pissing on his grave, and then the next week saying that they were his best buddy, But aside from that, I remember you making fun of Emmer because he had a merch store and he put his face on clocks and all this fucking shit, Yep. And now you have the merch store like Emer and. Like, I just wonder, like, what was it that made you change your mind from that shit's fucking gay to that it's acceptable now for you to do it? Is it just that you saw other people making the money and you said, fuck, I need to as well?
Well, the initial impetus for the merchandise was because I thought I had a lunatic that was going to start filing, litigiously against me in civil court like he had done to other people.
So it's for the money.
Yeah, because
you could just like this
that was the impetus for it. Once it was up, then it was for just I'm going to leave it up, make money. Why not?
These roundabout answers, though, just say it. Yeah, it's for money.
It's a literal answer to the question you're asking.
So did it ever manifest?
Did Monograph ever sue me? No.
So then why don't you take down this merch store?
Because it's already up and I'm making money.
It's already up and you're making money. Got it. So just saying you make money. Good.
You're asking me why I initially put it up, and I answered you.
And you decided now that you make money after.
Or should I take it down now so Pastor Leo of Gamergate's happy? Fuck off.
Pastor Gamergate of Leo. I have no idea what the fuck.
Well, of course you should.
I've had my
down
by the way,
now
Jim,
because you've already compromised on what you had said before. So at this point, reversing it makes no sense. But like, it's not a big deal that you changed your mind.
No, you've literally just agreed with what I said. Yes, once the merch store went up, what's the point, right?
Exactly. The battle is lost.
There you go.
Now, but what was the initial? Because I remember you saying that Patreon is digital welfare.
Yes,
and
it is.
SJWs use it as digital welfare.
Absolutely, they do.
You started one for yourself.
Yep, I did.
What was the reasoning for that?
Well, those are personal matters. I don't really talk about my personal.
He's a whore. He said it everywhere. He's a whore.
Well, that too. Yeah, I am an attention.
So I remember it being a sickness. And it doesn't seem as though you've died,
No, there are things such as chronic diseases, though. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, did you not have a job? Like, do you have a job now?
Why would I share personal?
That's none of our business. But Jim, I just want to make
no, really. Why would I share personal? Where do you work?
We don't need to. You don't need to. That's
so weird. Where do you work?
That's irrelevant.
Right.
Well, no, I'll tell you.
I don't want to know where he
works.
I just want to know if he had a different source of income.
Sure, that's not relevant. PPP, that's not relevant. But if you're gonna ask me what I worked, I've had my YouTube channel since 2007. All right, I made a total of 5 videos on Gamergate, and I didn't ever made any money about any of it. And for the last 30 minutes, you've just been ranting about a question I had about a parallel between the two. So I just like want to make that absolutely clear. If
I
you look at my
want to make it
channel,
absolutely clear that you were the first one to bring it up, and it's gay, and so I'm going to make fun of it.
yeah, and I'm trying to say you became like the people that you were adamantly fighting against when you made a
Really?
video about
What
Mundane
hashtag?
Matt.
What
About
hashtag?
Mundane Matt. When you made a video
What
because of Mundane
hashtag
Matt.
movement? What hashtag movement did I co-opt?
So you made a
What
move.
hashtag movement did I co-opt to make money, Leo?
What question are you? It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
It absolutely does.
You made a video about Mundane Matt.
Sure.
Okay, getting flagged, and I was drawing parallels to how I'm going to be making a video about PPP getting flagged. Both of them having to do with salacious sex details that are leaked online, which all everyone's saying, all right, is not important. No one should look into it. And I'm just going to be making a video about it. And now for the last like half an hour, you've been saying I'm a Gamergate furry like what? I don't even know what you're talking about. But if you if you keep saying it, and your dumb fans who buy your merch will hear you say it, they'll probably just believe it.
They're so stupid. They don't see the light like you bring, Pastor Leo, about those fucking Catholic Mexicans. Praise Jesus, Catholic Leo. Or no, I'm sorry, Episcopalian Leo.
That was pretty good. That's a good one. I'll give it to you.
Well, holy fuck. Like, I don't know. Things have gone a little bit away from where the initial discussion was.
Well, sure, reel it back in. What do you have anything else? I mean, I'm here to talk to you.
I don't know, Jim. I think that it boggles my mind that you just, for whatever reason, continue to not criticize people like Ethan Ralph for the hypocrisy that they do when you have at least a standard that flagging is wrong and advocating for it is wrong. But all you'll say is it's gay. Like, you don't actually criticize him.
If you put together a literal compelling video that shows that Ethan Ralph or his capos or however you wanted to like define them has done this to you, yeah, I'll absolutely call it out. But
it's not just me. What about JF? I mean, that's confirmed and that's public that he's told people to flag JF.
But you started that by saying that JF had told people to flag people, and then Ralph had told people to flag JF. So I said it's flaggers flagging each other.
So it excuses Ralph's behavior because somebody else did the same crime. That's not how it works.
How what works? The internet?
It's not how anything works. Because two wrongs don't make a right, Jim. It doesn't magically erase that Ralph did that just because somebody else was flagging. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I told you both instances were gay, didn't I?
It's just gay. Like, you have no other criticism.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say? What would satisfy?
I want you.
Give me the words you want me to say.
I just want you to let everybody know that he has now become Mundane Matt. He has now become Tonkasaw.
But he hasn't. You haven't shown that he's come after you.
It's not that he's come after him. It's proven that he's come after other people. It's out there in the open already. And there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that he's come after me.
Well,
so I just don't understand why are you so determined to defend this man when he's an alcoholic?
I'm telling you, put together your best video that shows all this shit. And if it's good and it shows it, I will fucking call him out.
Well, we put together some videos. They've been taken down.
Well,
we haven't had the opportunity to see them. But there will be a video coming, and I hope that you do hold yourself to that, because we've seen that you do change what your word was before, so you might change it again. So I just want to make sure that if
shit
this
happens
info
over the course of 10 years, yes. But I'm telling you, if you put together a fucking compelling video that shows what you're accusing them of happened, I will absolutely fucking call them out. Why wouldn't I?
Okay, I'm just glad that you've admitted to that at least. I'm glad for that, and I think we're finding some common ground here. I'm not trying to fucking come at you that hard, Jim.
You haven't come at me at all.
I'm just trying to have some fun here, and talk through this with you and see what your opinions are on these things, because a lot of people do take your opinions very seriously, and you know that. And so I think you have a certain, this is gay to say, but you have a certain responsibility to hold people to the standards that you've held other people to. That's just what I believe. Maybe you believe something different.
Apparently I do, I guess. I don't know. I'm saying put together an entertaining video that shows what you're saying, and I will call them out.
Great.
Okay.
Is that not fair?
Yeah, it is.
I think so. And I'm glad that you've come to that point. The only other thing I really want to just
I would have come to that point with the initial shit with the Jesse post. Again, it comes back to just put the shit out there.
Okay.
Right. And we will, because the Jamie blog post is censored. I'll get it out there with the archive IS link in my video. so on and so forth. Right.
Include it all. Yeah.
Great. I'm glad we agree.
Well, yeah, you should put fucking literally everything in. Yes.
The last thing that I just, well, maybe not the last thing, but maybe the second last thing. When it comes to Josh, I think you said the reason he would lock the thread is to have fun and engage in it, right?
No, I said if people are pestering him to do shit, I could see that he'd lock it intentionally.
Yeah, he really
if you're the same thing with the people telling me you need to do a video on JF, I could see if people are getting up Josh's ass that you need to do this or do that, that he'd lock it out of spite.
But nobody's really done that. People are just discussing what's going on.
I don't know what anybody's done. Again, like compile it in a video and show that like Josh did it because I don't know what for whatever reason that Josh did because he's in the pocket of Dick Masterson.
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. But yeah, well, this has been good. This has been spiritually edifying. I enjoyed this. PPP, do you have any last words? Do you like Jim? Do you, or could we just kill it? Pull the plug.
If you guys are good, I'm good. I got the invitation. So if there's anything else you want to ask away.
Well, the last thing I just want to say is,
sure.
I really do think that the behavior that's been committed by Ethan Ralph, by Josh in this instance, by Dick Masterson, it is very gay. And I think that it's very suspect. And I think that eventually some true wrongdoing will come out. I think it's suspicious that threads are being locked. I don't buy this cover story. It's because people are telling him what to do. I don't think that that's what's actually happening. I think it's just to shut down actual discussion on this and bury it. For what reason, I have no idea. But things are being flagged down. Articles are being flagged down. Videos are being flagged down. Threads are being locked. There's something to this. And I think that we'll all see in a short period of time. But you're right, Jim. We can't present to you the smoking gun evidence at this moment in time. And so
well, yeah, I mean, put together a compelling video. If your shit's getting flagged down, archive everything, use the Wayback Machine, put shit on BitChute, have alternative backups on Vimeo that nobody knows about.
All right,
so people can't flag your shit down, right?
And final point, I wanted to just make sure you think, and you said this before, but I just want for all the fucking dick riders out there and the dickheads who deny reality, Jim thinks that I won the interaction with Ricada and Dick, right?
Yeah, I thought you went in there, and I don't think they understood the bit, and I think that Dick looked really upset at the end of it. Yes.
Okay. That's all I've really got for you, Jim. You know,
cool.
I hope that you have a great rest of your week. I hope we have some more fun together as we go over this fucking.
I'll be watching this shit unfold. I'm and fucking 6 more streams to go. I guess I don't know.
A million more streams to go.
People said Godwinson had videos up too. I have to go. I guess watch those, and then I've got to see. It's so much fucking shit to catch up on.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to fucking go over it all. You know, there's so much right now that even I, who's deep in this fucking shit, there's things I'm leaving out that I wish, later looking back, I wish I had presented this to you, Jim. But I think you're a smart enough guy that you'll research it, you'll figure it out for yourself, you'll come to your own conclusion on that, and I look forward to that.
I'm looking forward to the video. Leo, any idea of when you're gonna have it up? I guess
sometime Sunday or Monday, and I guess
so. This week, then, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
all right.
I guess I forgot. This is the thing I want to include the video. So you've been on New Project 2 for 3 or 4 months, Jim. Have you ever checked?
I think since like January. Right. Yeah.
Have you ever checked out?
Have I ever what?
Cashed out. Like, have you ever withdrawn anything from it?
Yeah, you go through the third-party payment processor, and you literally go through them.
Right, but like, you've checked your bank account, and it has been increased the amount of money that you were given on New Project 2?
Yeah, like I said, you can cash out. You go through the third party financial handling, and then they send you the cash.
Just making sure, because I have a friend who's on there, and they're still waiting to hear back when they try to cash out. And I'm like, is this automated, or is it like something?
The first payment I got took like a month. The second payment took like a month and a half, I think. I don't know if it's fucking automated. I don't know exactly what the mechanism is for it. But yeah, no, they have paid me. Yeah.
All right, no, cool. This isn't a gotcha. I just really want to know because I have a friend who's still waiting to hear back. So this is good. Good to know someone who's actually gotten it. But yeah, so can I pull the plug?
Well, if somebody's getting fucked out of their money, they need to speak up.
For sure. Yeah.
I'd be pissed if somebody's taking donations and they're not getting paid.
Yeah. So
it's interesting to me though that ever since I blew out Nick Ricotta and fucking Dick on the show, it's just been a strange coincidence that Dick and Ralph have just been so desperate to gaslight the reality of it and spin it into a win for them and say that I totally lost, I made no valid points, I was a virgin and I'm fat and all this fucking shit. It's just a strange coincidence, isn't it?
I thought you were funnier. That's why I thought you won.
And
I thought
agree.
you were funnier in how you did it. That's really all that matters.
I agree. It was that hour was some of the best blood sports, if you will, content for the last 2 years, and it's a shame it's privated. So we'll try and get it out there. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, if shit's getting flagged down, archive it and put it up on alternatives, and then whatever you have. Are you gonna? Is this like the big expose video on Sunday, or is that like a separate one?
No, it's not going to be big. It's just going to be the stuff I've seen, the behaviors, the way people have been reacting to it, and we'll see. We'll try and make it there. But I don't. We're gonna call it some stuff. So yeah.
Is it a strange coincidence, though, that after all this damage control by Dick and Ralph, that then Vito shows up in my stream? Like, is that all coincidental? Like, it's not connected at all? And then the stream goes down? Like, there's nothing suspicious to that?
No, I'd say that's suspicious. I mean, it reminds me of when I had the quartering trying to get me to drop gamer words on a stream after he was bragging about how that would get a channel flag down.
No, I do appreciate your honesty with that, Jim. And I think that, for the most part, I think that we've had a fairly productive and fun discussion. I think people in chat have enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed your time on the show?
Oh, I love it. I love Trash Fires. I mean, I hope it's blazing. Keep it going.
It'll keep being stoked. The truth is out there, Jim. We will find it.
This
the
lockdown
truth is out there.
Is so fucking boring. So if you're gonna entertain the internet, go in for a penny, for a pound.
Amen. Let's do it. All right.
All right, guys.